Hey, how's it going? This is David from ConMenRDW here, and you are listening to another episode of the Binge Blast podcast, recording live on twitch.tv/ConMenRDW, and I am here with awesome guests for today's show. First of 2023, I have my boy Mark, aka MarcN0tMark.
What it do, people?
And I also have my other boy, the Silverback Tech Geek Squad man himself, AGBackTech, aka Brendan.
AKA the boy himself, AKA Return to Monkey,
AKA the nigga we somehow let run free with a soundboard. So
don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Before we get to that, hold on.
Yeah.
I love how David has his YouTube voice intro every goddamn time.
Yeah,
gotta be consistent with it. You gotta be consistent with it.
I saw the grin. I'm like, here we go.
Yeah,
here we go.
You gotta learn how to flip the switch. You gotta turn on that persona at a moment's notice. But
sure, switching.
It is really
hey man,
you got a content switch. Voice. But it is awesome to have y'all listening live on twitch.tv/ConMenRDW in the live chat audience where you can interact with us live as we're recording this episode of the Binge Blast podcast, or for all you wonderful people who are listening out there in podcast land on Apple Music Podcasts or on Spotify Podcasts or wherever you listen to, wherever this fucking podcast goes. Either way, we appreciate y'all being here and listening, watching, hanging out with us while we're talking about things that we've been binging, things that we've been playing, watching, and I've been doing a lot of that recently, so it's good to finally be back on the show, having this again with some people who also have been doing the same thing as me, and we about to get it going. So, let me start off with introducing our guests formally real quick. Let them plug themselves. Let them introduce themselves to y'all. Mark, hit us with a little TLDR about yourself.
Hello guys. I'm MarcN0tMark. You catch me on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, all of that. All MarcN0tMark. The O's a 0.
And the first is a C and the second's a K. Mark with a C,
not
a K.
You're right.
Mark.
Hush, Gorilla.
No.
But you guys can catch me at different conventions. I travel a lot for cosplay and all that. Overall, I'm getting into voice acting, and that's basically the TLDR about me. I game, hang out with these chuckle fucks, and yeah.
Yeah, and he also has a really good community going on his side of the internet. And also, don't let him downplay himself. He is a damn good cosplayer. This man is
hell yeah, man.
Top 5 in the Cosplay Stars contest, if that's still going on. This man's been top 5 for like the past couple months or whatever the fuck. He's also like a damn good Echo cosplayer. His Echo's top tier. His Echo's up there. You look at him and you're like, that's just him. It's him.
It's him. He is him.
He.
Damn. Talk all about the Echo cosplay, but nobody want to talk about my Dante cosplay.
Yeah, the Dante. The Dante is where it all began. We always remember where we came from. The Echo is that new wave. That's new gen Mark right there.
What the hell is this?
I'm gonna fight that man.
Don't worry about it.
And then again, we're gonna also continue with the formal introductions here with the man that's been mashing those damn buttons on that soundboard.
Yeah,
that's me. Yourself, Brendan.
Yes, hi. Name's Brendan, part of the ConMenRDW crew. Also follow me on Twitter at AGBackTech. Just your friendly neighborhood gorilla. Likes to get into tech stuff, like building computers, fixing devices, things like that. Been doing it for many, many years. Still working on my presence, thanks to this man right here getting me on board with like getting my shit out the door and getting myself known and making some stuff. So yeah.
Let's not forget the fact that you're a professional shit poster and a great editor too.
Professional, almost editor. Yes, I'm also
he's been tossing up a lot of clips for all of us.
Yes, I'm also the editor primarily for Mark's channel, but I also do editing for David's channel when I get the chance.
If he's in stream and he sees something silly, he will flip something immediately.
I have the receipts. I will catch you in 4K 60 FPS and render that shit. Don't try me. But yeah, no. Editor, photographer for the crew, tech guy for the crew as well too. But yeah, on Twitter at AGBackTech. Have an Instagram, but it's primarily cooking, but working it out.
Yeah, cooking guy and the tech
Want
guy.
some good
Definitely.
eats, man? Come on.
Yeah, like I said, like funnily enough, speaking of food, I was in the middle of cooking dinner for the week because I meal prep, and David had called in the middle of me making my second round of a place. I was like, shit, my meat. So I had to. So that's still simmering for now, and I had to get back to that once we're all wrapped up today.
Definitely. But yeah, we are here. Oh, and then also for me, the person that you're here because of the person who's
this
hosting the
dude.
podcast. My name is
Nah,
David, and I'm the host of ConMenRDW on both YouTube and Twitch, and also on TikTok. And I like making geeky nerdy stuff for geeky nerdy people, pertaining to video games, pop culture, anime. Travel and things like that. I've been going to a lot of conventions. Been tossing up videos from PAX East, which is the convention that all three of us were at recently. I've been doing some
Yeah.
interviews with devs. We got a couple more conventions lined up in the summer months as well, and yeah, it's just been great getting back into the swing of things with conventions and travel, and getting back into like the type of YouTube content I was making like pre the fall of pre before the world exploded in 2020.
Pre dark times.
Honestly, real quick side thing. I'm glad that we were able to get together for PAX and enjoy each other's company. We laughed. We cried over missing kids and dropped kids. We threw cameras at people.
Man, that was a time.
Kids are cookies. The kids are cookies. Jesus Christ, the kids are cookies.
Yeah, what?
The kids are cookies.
or seeing our friend's impression about like something being in Ohio. That shit kills me.
Yeah. But it's great to just be hanging out with people, making content with my friends here. And also I'm going to be having a lot more other creator friends as well on the show, like we used to back in the earlier days of streaming when I had like other content creator friends on. So we're going to be flipping a whole bunch of different guests through here to see what everyone else has been playing as well. So it's going to be great. Like I said, awesome to have y'all here. And we're going to get this show started. So we got about 9 things on the docket. A couple things that have overlap because we all be playing the same shit. And everyone on this panel has good taste, goddamn. So we're gonna be talking about some stuff. But to start off, let's open up with Mark. I'm gonna let you start it off, where we're talking about Crash Team Rumble. Since this one's actually kind of timed.
I didn't know about this.
Since this
I
one's
missed out
kind
on
of timing specific, since we have been playing this because it's a closed beta weekend here. So yeah,
Well,
open up with that.
Seeing how this game was definitely on my radar for a long time, now that I can actually talk about it. Funny enough, the last time I was on Binge Blast was literally after I got some hands-on time before the beta dropped, and I was just holding on to this for dear life. But no, Crash Team Rumble is basically a very interesting style of MOBA. Because first off, I play a good handful of MOBAs. Of course, you have your League, your Smite, and stuff like that. David, you were able to get your hands on a code too, weren't you?
Yeah, shout out to Ren, friend of the show, who was able to toss out some Crash Team Rumble closed beta codes, because I definitely was not gonna get into this otherwise, because I was mostly looking at, I was probably gonna be watching people stream it or watching people post gameplay on YouTube, and I didn't expect to get a code for this, but luckily I was able to. So I also have some thoughts on Crash Team Rumble as well as Mark does. So yeah.
But yeah, to continue the thought, Crash Team Rumble is a very interesting take on the MOBA genre, where you have your scorers, your defenders, and your boosters. Your scorers, what they're supposed to do is they're supposed to get the Wampa, like go around breaking crates, Crash Bandicoot style. If you've never played a Crash Bandicoot game in your life,
Fix that.
man, do I
Fix that. There's a whole remastered trilogy and Crash 4. There is no excuse.
I'm looking at the remastered trilogy on my PlayStation right now. But excuse me. No, your score is basically you go around classic Crash style, breaking boxes, collecting Wampa, and you're bringing it back to your base, and you're trying to score that. Your blockers are basically the people who are just going to be griefing you the entire match. Let's just be real here. Dingle
Goddamn
Dial
Dingo
did not
Dial.
need to be. Oh my god.
Dingus.
And
Man,
then
Dingo Dial.
finally, you have your
Man, Dingo Dial,
boosters,
stop.
aka your support class. So you have your DPS, you have your tank, you have your support. Now, this is the first MOBA I've played where you don't go to a shop to buy items to boost your character.
Thank God. It's like one of the more
Shit.
complex parts of League of Legends, to be honest. The shop.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't really compare it to Pokemon Unite because I haven't put much
Yeah,
time
it's
into
not.
that.
It's totally different. I think in terms of like compare. I say saying MOBA. I was thinking about this on my own a couple days ago. I was like, is this more of a MOBA or a MOPA? A
A MOPA.
multiplayer online platforming game. More
Ooh.
multiplayer online platforming arena, right? Because it's not like the base of the game is to like fight each other, but I mean you're still battling in a way, right? But
Yeah.
it's very open. It's a different angle than we're used to with most. Um, it's more of a different angle than we're used to with like Smite and League of Legends and Pokemon Unite, where it's like top down or behind the shoulder. And the gameplay style is like, yeah, if you're used to 3D action platformers, this is definitely going to be in your wheelhouse, which is kind of why I like it. Because like I've grown up with platformers, Crash, Bandicoot, and stuff is like my jam. So jumping into this game and having a game like this that is like multiplayer is very interesting.
I mean,
Yeah.
excuse me. The thing I liked the most about this is that how easy it is to just jump in and learn characters right off jump.
Very easy,
Like
yeah.
if you it's a very low skill floor, but clearly there is a skill ceiling with some of the characters over here. Like look at Tana, for example. Like right off, she's really squishy. She falls under scorer, if I remember
Hell
correctly.
yeah, she's squishy.
This man over here.
Mm.
But
Don't worry about it.
but when I first started playing Tana, I'm just like, okay, I have a grappling hook. I can zip around. The map. That's cool. But then say like there's a Coco getting in my way or trying to get away from me. I can literally grapple hook, combo into her uppercut, and then down smash, and spin kick, and then reset. And that is something I actually really like. And then of course we're going to talk about the bandicoots because we have words for the bandicoots.
Yeah. Crash and Coco play pretty similar to how they play in their actual games. Honestly, so Crash has his like signature slide. He has his belly flop. He has the spin, obviously, and you can do like a triple spin to like give yourself a little bit of a boost, but also just kind of keep momentum going when you're breaking crates and stuff like that. But Coco also has that ground pound, that ground smash, but it can be canceled if you're doing like a regular, like so if you're jumping, then press B.
Crash
If you're
also has
playing
that
like
cancel.
yeah, so Crash and
yeah,
Coco
yeah,
both
yeah.
have this like jump cancels. There's low key tech in the game a little bit. So if you're playing like on a quote unquote higher level, there's like some maneuverability options you have with like how certain actions can be canceled. So like if you're playing as Crash, you jump and then you press B on an Xbox controller, you'll go into like your ground pound animation, but then you can cancel that into your double jump.
Oh shit.
And then you can also kind of like jump and then you can press right trigger to do like Crash's air dash and you can jump cancel that into a double jump, then you can like ground pound into that. So there's like a lot of options for maneuverability and also like
The tech.
navigation. Yeah, there's some good tech in there. Even like for example with Tana, you can jump with her and then you can grapple hook, but then if you still have your double jump, you can jump again out of the grapple and then do your uppercut for like basically a triple jump maneuver type of situation. So like on the beach level where it's like a bridge you can cross to get to like the other side past the scoreboards, you can like cut across from bridge to bridge if you just wanted to get past that way with Tana because you're able to do that.
I'm also looking at your chat over here. And, this is a very valid question. How do I feel about the controls? They feel right at home. I'm not gonna lie, they feel right at home because you have your your spin button. Your slide is R2 or right trigger, whichever it is for you, and that felt very natural. That felt really good, and I could really appreciate something like that because so let's face it, we're getting older. Us old heads,
Yeah, we're getting
Don't
old.
say that.
yeah, too late's been said. Um, but us doing that, it felt like I was still playing like the classic Crash games, like as if nothing really changed.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to touch back on the grapple hook real quick. The cool thing about Tana's grapple hook is the fact that even if you don't land the hook on your enemy, the pull, if somebody's in the line of sight wherever you're going, they get knockback. There's knockback behind that.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course we brought up the bandicoots. The slam, holy shit. God damn it. I
Yeah,
have words
the ground
about that
pound is
slam.
very so basically like Crash and Coco both have like the super ground pound where you double click the B button and then you'll go into like your super slam, which has like knockback, it has stun, and it can like squish characters, which basically makes it susceptible to get comboed from spins like right after
Ooh,
they
so
so you
it's like
can
literally a hard knockdown.
yeah,
hard
but the
stun.
thing is it's like they can
They
spam that. And if you have like if you have like a Crash and a Coco next to you, they can just super slam back to back, and they can just keep you pinned like that.
Okay, so if it's just one character, they can't do it back to back. But if it's two of the bandicoots, they can do that back to back, and it's a nightmare.
Yeah. How many players is it on the team? Is it
It's 4v4.
It's 4v4.
Oh no! Oh
yeah,
the
and
lockdown.
They don't have it set up yet where it can be well. Crash and Coco are two separate characters, but like they don't have it right now where there can be like only one specific character per team. So like some people would do like multiple Crash or multiple Coco, just because it's like people want to use those characters. But if they know how cheesy the ground pound can be, you're just getting caught up in that. But also like there's some other things too. Like it's a closed beta, so they already know there's a lot of like adjustments that are going to be made throughout this time frame, since the game doesn't come out until June, so we do still have like a month and some change until its release.
Yeah.
And the developers even were talking about on Twitch, on an Xbox official stream, that they were going to be monitoring what people say in the Discord, because they have an official Discord for this game, and also just the player data and feedback on all social platforms to see what they have to adjust and see what changes they have to get made by full release, because it seems like they do want this game to be a somewhat competitive game, like a game that people could jump into to basically, if they want to have a more like a serious thing, or if they want to like have a core communicative, like a game where you need to use communication to win with your friends, a good 4v4 game. And since we're losing games like Knockout City and Rumbleverse RIP, games need to come out to replace those. So this seems like this is a good step in the right direction for a solid multiplayer title that doesn't have that high of a skill ceiling, but it's like if you put more time into it, you'll start finding those synergies and finding that tech we were talking about that can make for some pretty interesting gameplay and also very high stakes moments for competitive play as well.
Like there was also times where we were literally it's neck and neck, and you could literally hold a point with certain items and certain characters for a good minute. And it is like, this game is like a game where it's just like, yeah, you can turn off your brain, but at the same time, if you want to do big brain high level plays like playing fucking 5D chess, you can.
There are definitely moments where like, because you have to, there's a straight up cap of how much Wumpa your team needs to get. It's 2,000. I don't know if they're gonna ever adjust that for different modes and stuff, but base amount is 2,000 Wumpa to win the game. And say if like your team ends up with like only maybe like less than 1,000 Wumpa they need to score to win, the other team all of a sudden starts hard blocking your goal because you have to stand on your goal platform for maybe like 3-4 seconds to actually score. But if they're on the platform and they're have their dingo dial blocking you and attacking you, or they drop this freaking big ass like electrical alien thing that we call Big Nigga that's just like on the field and he's just in the way and you can't score, and then they're blocking you, but then they have their goal open and then they're trying to jump points, then you're basically in a back and forth and also like a pretty hard standstill where it becomes like a war of attrition of like who can kind of tech each other the best. And there actually we did have moments like that in the actual game where we were trying to like figure out who can one up the other before we were able to continue. Also, thank you Panther Music for the follow. Appreciate you.
Hey, my boy Anthony, what's good, dude?
How's it going? Thanks for being here. But yeah, there are definitely moments where Crash Team Rumble is like, it's not just a mindless grab the fruit, put it in. You do have to have those moments of, okay, we gotta coordinate getting these boost platforms so we can get that extra 30, 80, 100%.
Let's not even forget about the different verticalities and the different spacing with the maps.
Yeah.
And that each map comes with their own set of items.
Yeah.
Like, and this is where, like, I think where some of its MOBA quote unquote elements come in, like how in League you have Baron, whereas in Crash Team Rumble you have the big item in the center where not only the objective is to collect Wumpa fruit, but you're also collecting relics. And that's where like the third archetype boosters come in, because they're collecting relics and they also capture specific points to help boost how many Wumpa you're depositing in. Because
yeah, I was gonna ask about the booster. Like,
yeah, they're like power.
It's just like it's not a multiplier, but it's just like an add-on to like your
so
there's
there's like these power-up pads that are around the map. And each level has different ones based on the actual location. So like the Tiki level has these bombardment ones where you can drop basically like fireballs onto your goal to protect it or to defend it. And you can also call in like these trampolines that'll get you up to the highest point of the map, since that one's really vertical. Or the junkyard level has these like junker balls, which are like classic Crash Bandicoot items where you get into like a hamster ball and you can roll around and damage your enemies and stuff like that. But then there's the
bonus bank.
Yeah, there's the bonus bank. Those are like the very specific like higher end, higher reward power up pads. And those are more like, so each character can hold up to like 15 relics at a time. And the smaller ones that we were just talking about are like 5 to 8 relics to claim. So you can do that yourself. But then there's these other ones that'll spawn that are like up to 30 or 25 relics. And then you need to coordinate with your team and be like, hey, we can get this bonus bank for our team so we can have a second point to score at, but we need to coordinate our relics and we need to dump into this because also the other team can see how many relics you've put in. So now it's like, do they want to risk going for points, or do they want to try to get that relic pad before you and get that boost themselves? So there's a couple, and like on the Tiki level, there's an Aku Aku mask. No, an Uka Uka mask power up, which basically makes your team invincible and also rains down fireballs from the sky. So it just makes the map a living hell for the other team. So it's like whenever that Uka Uka pad shows up, it's 30 relics, and it's like, okay, we need to get these relics onto this pad so we can get those boosts. But then it's also the other team can still call in bombardments for their 8 relics, or they can do their other thing. So it's kind of like a strategic risk and reward system that seems pretty cool, to be honest. It's just finding that balance of like, okay, what's worth getting at that moment, or in longevity, like what's the better options to go with to put your relics towards.
Well, let's also forget that another key thing that we left out is one of the factors that can edge out just a simple one-on-one between two characters is what item they're bringing. Like
true.
With the closed beta, you had the fly trap, not the fly trap. I'm calling it a fly trap.
Yeah, the Venus fly trap plant.
Yeah, it basically spat stuff which slowed down. It acted as a debuff and it gives you like an edge. Or I'm struggling to remember here. The fridge. Oh my god, the fridge has saved my ass.
Yeah, it's like a
so
healing
times.
totem that'll heal any friendly allies in the area.
Yeah, it was basically an AoE. It's
Mhm.
basically an AoE healing.
Then there was
you
Big
and
Nigga.
Oh my god!
It was like I don't remember the initial name, but it is Big Nigga. It's just like a fat alien dude that you will spawn in, and he just like shoots out like this like lightning AoE, and also just like does melee damage to people. But he's mostly just a big blocker in the way, so you can just set him on your goal. You can set him just randomly anywhere on the map, or you can just set him on gem points. So he basically blocks the other team from messing with that space until he's gone. So he was like a really good defensive tool, but also just a pain in the ass for if it wasn't yours. So
also, but another thing, and this is something I actually like that they did. Well, not only I'm not call, not only did big engine
Big Nigga.
I'm trying here. I'm trying.
Hey man,
I'm trying.
The big alien.
Big alien.
We go on a big alien now.
There you go. Big man.
Big man.
So not only do you have him, but he could capture points, and so could the fly trap.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing is, like, if you use that fridge totem, you can use that to block them from being summoned at certain points, which is actually an interesting level of tech. Because now that adds a whole new meaning of like, okay, what can I do to prevent from getting hard blocked or just getting spammed?
Yeah.
And another last thing I'll touch on is it is too easy to. This game has a lot of great potential, but it is too easy to have BM in this game.
Yeah.
Way too easy. I can see it now because there are times where like I'm playing a match and then there are times where I'm playing the match and people on my team would either leave or people on the enemy team would just straight up leave, and because they leave, they're replaced with a bot.
Very basic ass bot. Just a Crasher Coco with a hat. And it's just level 1. Just very level 1 basic like bot energy. They're just doing things that you know a player wouldn't do. It's like when you're playing Fortnite and then you shoot at someone and they don't run or build immediately. You're like, that's a bot. Nah, they're
or they're missing you super hard.
Yeah, like the bots weren't doing things that players would do. Like they weren't trying to be aggressive. They weren't capturing points. They were just moving around randomly and they were like in the way. You're just like, okay, what's happening, bro?
And then of course another BM that I rated to consistently was the only blocker Dingodile. Because like if a good Dingodile will get in your way, will stop you from doing stuff. He'll do his job, either defending his point or defending you or blocking you from getting your point and whatnot. And that's cool. A toxic Dingodile will constantly spam super spin, chase you down, suck away everyone, but it's just like that bitch right there. I want him. I'm going to make your day at hell.
Listen here, you little shit.
It's like he's a good character for what he needs to do, but it's like the fact that right now there's no way for the team to only have one. Sometimes you get in games where they sometimes have two, maybe three if they're bad. I've never had the unfortunate hell of being in a game where there's 4 Dingodils at once, but some people have. But also, it's like the trade-off though with that is right. The trade-off with that is Dingodile can't hold. I don't remember what his like Wumpa count was, but like every character has a different amount of Wumpa food they can hold. So like Tana, for example, I think she could hold the most. She could hold like 130, but that's because she was a scorer class character. But like Coco, she was a booster character, so she was more only for support. So she wasn't supposed to be getting Wumpa primarily, so she can only have 90. I don't know how many Dingodile could hold, but if he's mostly playing defense, I don't know if he could even hold that many in general. So it's like if you are running a team of all Dingodiles, you're not really scoring that much, so it wouldn't even be effective to do that. But if you just want to BM, you can still do that, and the fact that there's an option to do that is a pain in my ass. So I'm just like, please change it.
So speaking of characters that are potentially toxic, Alante brought up a good talking point.
Mhm.
Characters. Who do you think they should add?
So
On
literally
Crash,
every
quite a good
literally
number of
I
characters.
better fucking see
have you
Crunch. No
seen
ifs, ands, or buts.
have you seen the layout? Have you seen the roster for Crash Team Racing?
Yeah.
Copy and paste that whole bitch. Put that
Yeah.
whole roster in
Yeah.
Crash Team Rumble, and
I
we're
can see
fine
it.
with that. Maybe give or take a couple characters, or maybe I think there's an original character that's getting put in here early on. It's like a bat mutant character. I think
Okay.
we've never seen her before, so that's gonna be a new character. So if we end up getting a couple new characters in here because of Rumble, that'd be cool. But Crash canon has so many varied designs of characters. Like there's every boss character, there's all the villain characters, there's all the good characters. All that
Tiny's
type
gonna
of
be a
stuff.
fucking nightmare.
Yeah, Tiny's gonna be crazy.
be a
I might
nightmare.
main Ripperoo. I might main Ripperoo. And he might be a scorer character, but his emote will be BM as hell. He'll just do his nasty ass laugh, bro.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and Crash,
Oh,
like literally
Spyro
Spyro.
that'd be a
Spyro needs to
great
get put in.
crossover.
Spyro will get put in. I definitely believe Spyro will get put in here.
I will say that there's just a lot of potential for this game, and I genuinely look forward to see what direction they go with. Like, I know this game is going to be like pay to get in and get all that, but I feel like this is definitely a game that could definitely survive a long time, especially if like say later down the roadmap they go free to play. Like anybody that's paid for the game, they get free shit for the rest of this whatnot. But
Or they get
like
hmm
cosmetics and all that, especially with how long Crash Team Racing lasts, it's still up. I go back to that game from time to time, and that's something else I could just go on and on and on about. But
that's a game I haven't touched in a minute, but that is a gem. Like,
Yeah.
honestly.
But point being, this is a game that clearly has a lot of staying power, and I hope it gets the love it deserves, and it doesn't get shafted like what happened with Rumbleverse.
Yeah.
Of course.
I know
I
that
want to
it-
say it's
Mhm.
go ahead.
I was gonna say it seems like games that when they open up, well, I won't even say that because Knockout City kind of did that, where it was like $20 to $20 to get the game up front, and then later on they made it free to play. But I guess that mostly goes to, I think, the benefit that Crash has. It's brand recognition. Everyone knows who Crash is.
Yeah.
Like everyone knows these characters. Even if you don't know who these characters are, the games and the material are right there. This game also makes me want to play Crash 4 because I own Crash 4, I never finished it, but this makes me want to go back and play it because I can't play this game right now. So it's doing a good job of doing the promotion that it needs to do. So I feel like this game will last.
If you love these characters, check out where they came from.
Exactly.
Like, right now, like I'm not gonna lie to you. Like after the beta close, I re-downloaded Crash Team Racing and the Insane Trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
So you know where you're gonna catch my ass playing some of these games.
And
Shameless
Naughty
plug in,
Dog.
Mark.
Oh yeah,
I
definitely.
think it's my character. Because it's Activision game.
No, it's Activision
Toys for Bob.
Toys for Bob. Vicarious Visions and Naughty Dog don't work with Crash anymore. They passed them on to Toys for Bob. So that's who made Crash 4. So that's who's making this.
Because Vicarious Visions is too busy being in the mines.
Vicarious Visions.
The Activision.
It's just like, yep, that the Call of Duty mine, the Warzone mine, which reminds me, my only fear about this game is like with it dying a very slow, painful death is like if Activision's it, you know,
where it gets really heavily monetized or something like that. You mean?
Yes. So like I'm hoping. I don't think it's going to be the case because like at the very least, like people gave Crash Team Racing a lot of flack because of the monetization thing.
Yeah.
But
it's like you didn't really need to.
You really didn't need it.
Yeah, it was mostly cosmetic.
Even then, with Crash Team Racing, it was still not even pseudo. It was still pretty easy to unlock more characters and more cosmetics.
Yeah, the only thing that this doesn't. You can go.
I'll just close out with this. I think that with this game is going to last a very long time. This is going to be the game your baby cousin plays or like your younger siblings play. Mm-hmm. Simple, to the point. Especially if even if they don't know who Crash is, like it's a simple enough game to follow based on what you guys have said, and like looking at the gameplay and watching it go, it's like pretty much anyone can pick up the game at like a beginner level, and then like you guys said, there are some pretty solid mechanics to take it to like a competitive level, or like at the very least an upper level to a degree.
I will say that it seems that with this game they took a page from Pokemon Unite and they made it a lot more accessible, and you also don't have to really worry about like if somebody leaves. It's just that's it for the match. Like you're not a
you can still
person
play
down.
through it, and even if even if you win, you still get something. Even if you lose, you still get XP. Like you still get something for playing through a whole match, even if it does
being
disconnect.
a good sport.
Yeah.
Connectivity servers wise, I didn't have any issues.
Yeah, I didn't have any games drop. No games drop. The servers seem to be fucking great right now, which is very surprising. Because that seems to be like the biggest hurdle for new games like this. But also maybe it's because people didn't get into the closed beta as much as like there could be factors to that. Maybe when the game actually launches, we'll see some server issues maybe, but hopefully it still stays the way it was during this closed beta, which was very good. But also, my last thought for this is the difference between this and Crash Team Racing is Crash Team Racing had a single player campaign. If this is straight up only online and you only can play it online with other people, unless you have friends who have this, playing with randoms, I wouldn't prefer to do. I would only want to play this if I had, like when I was playing mostly on my time, I was playing with Mark, or I was playing with our friend Javi, or we had like a 3-stack of 4. But if it's like I wasn't playing with them, I wasn't really playing too much by myself. So if there's nothing to do single player wise to kill time in between those matches, I don't know how much time I put into this game otherwise. So like later in the year, if like no one feels like playing it, like where's the you know what I'm saying? So
I think it's going to be a single player of some sort. Probably like something really simple where you do like objectives and missions, and you have to face off against like different difficulty bots.
We'll see.
Like,
I will say, I do love the fact how easy it is to get sucked in.
Just the matches aren't long.
Yeah. That's something that needs to be talked about real quick. Every other MOBA I've played you better commit a good 15, 20 to even upmost an hour.
Yeah,
I've had
everything except for Pokemon Go. Pokemon Unite's like 10 minutes hard every match, but other than that, it's like Riot games. Yeah,
these matches can be faster than that.
Yeah, we were in some matches where they started and ended within like 5 minutes. We were like, what the heck? Like you missed that first bonus gem. And all of a sudden, the other team like dumps a whole bunch of Wumpa, and they're like halfway there, and you're like, "Oh, okay."
It is too easy to snowball, and it is too easy to dominate in this game.
Yeah,
like this is one of those games where like reaction is kind of a necessary thing.
You gotta be paying attention to what's going on.
The UI feels pretty decent. Controls feel good. Only other than like BM stuff. Only other gripes I have is the ping system.
Yeah, they need more pings.
The ping system can do more. You could do more. There were times where like I was just straight up emoting at somebody, but then again, what gamer doesn't have a little bit of toxicity in them?
Yeah, I see your stank ass behavior.
Hey, shut up, short fuck.
But it'll be good though. It's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to when it fully drops. Hopefully, I can get a code for this. I don't know if I want to drop the 30 at launch for the game base, but we'll see.
I might. To be honest, I might get this at launch.
It might be a game where it's like I'll have to depend on. I'll have to do a roll call of who's all getting it, and depending on how many answers I get, I will get it because it is crossplay, so it doesn't matter who gets it on what. So
I want to see the roster and I want to see the roadmap and see where this goes because this was a. So
from 1 to 10, it's an 8. I give it like an 8.
Yeah.
And I would say an 8.
I give it a high 8, low. I give it a high 7, low 8.
Fair.
So yeah, Crash CTR solid.
The game is fun. The game.
There are two CTRs now. Crash Team Rumble. I
honestly love that
Well, shit.
branding. I actually really like that branding, and I hope they they keep that because like CTR,
Yeah.
it's like which one? So,
Next one, Crash Tag Racing.
but let's see. Yeah, that basically just became a pseudo Crash Team Rumble discussion. But honestly, yeah, I do want to talk about that though, since it is kind of the game of the weekend, since it's like in its closed beta and it's gonna be ending literally today. So good that we got those thoughts out on Crash Team Rumble, in case anyone wanted to know about that. But next up, let's talk more single player. Brendan, you are making your way through one of the better single player games out there. Some would say it is a GOTY material. Actually, it was GOTY material twice. You've been playing
hands down.
You've been playing God of War 2016?
2018.
2018?
Yeah, 2018.
Yeah.
Old ass
You've
game.
been playing God of Boy. Dad of
War.
Yeah, no. Fantastic game. Like it's been one of the games in my backlogs, and I've been playing. I was playing it literally off and on. Probably put like 5 hours into it, maybe when it came out, or like a year after it came out, and then the fall happened. So I don't know what happened between then and now. But now as I'm sitting down and playing through it, it's like, yeah, no, it's phenomenal. Like I'm still working my way through the game. I started over. I wasn't all the way deep in, but this game still holds up very, very well. It's gorgeous. Sound design's amazing. Character design is really good. Like story is like it still has me by the reins. It's very, very good. It definitely earned its keep and then some. And I'm looking forward to playing God of War Ragnarok. Unfortunately, I do not have a PS5, and it's going to be a while to get one. So unless I
believe you can still get Ragnarok for PS4.
PS4.
Is it
yes.
Oh yeah,
I have a PS4 Pro.
Yeah.
This is one of those games where, like, if you don't have a PS4 Pro, GG. Like, your shit is not
sounding like
a
Boeing 30 a Boeing
shit's gonna be
airplane taking off. It's gonna be taking off.
Shit's gonna be like.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be bad, but yes, fantastic game. So far, I'm loving where it's going. Like the gameplay, especially, I do wish that for the older God of Wars that they remade it with like this engine and like still kept the same crazy button mashy combos and the crazy action oriented gameplay, like the super crazy action oriented. Because back in that era, everything was just like combo meter style, build up that number.
Mm-hmm.
So I do want them to, if
my
not
for action games alone.
hey look, I like to go unga bunga just much as much as you do. But yeah, it is a game that I do want to definitely get my hand. I do want to definitely finish this. And yeah, like my friend Jaeger said, like my friend's she has an old PS4. That shit sounds like a fucking plane about to take off. And mind you, on my previous computer, I had like 8 fans. That thing was still quieter than our PS4, even at full blast. So it's just like, oof. But yeah, no, this is one of those games where it's like, if you have a PS4 or if you have a PS4 Pro, preferably, that will give you the extra mileage. And with me having this on a better 4K TV, granted, the PlayStation doesn't have, the PS4 Pro doesn't have as good like high dynamic range or graphical fidelity as like the PS5, and like with the newer HDMI standards with the higher frame rates and all that great stuff too, it doesn't really get the full benefit, but it still looks amazing. And it's like, I would say it would only look a little bit better if I ran it on PC. I can get it consistently at like 2K 60 FPS or 165 FPS, depending on what settings I want to put it on.
Mm-hmm.
But worthwhile. Have either of you guys played this one?
I've heard many good things. I never grew up playing the God of War games because I didn't have a PlayStation to play them on. So I could pretty much miss the entire Kratos train for like the last many years of gaming. So I had no personal connection to the franchise, so I never played it. But I've heard people say you can just play 2018 God of War without knowing the backstory, and it's still a damn good time.
Oh yeah, for
So
sure.
I've thought about diving in and seeing if I wanted to play it, but like I said, I have no connection, so I have no personal drive to jump into this one.
Fair
Honestly,
enough. What about you, Mark?
honestly, I've played a little bit of 2018 back when it first dropped, but that was a very hectic time.
Mhm.
Don't join the military, kids.
Yeah.
But no, go. In your opinion, how does it hold up? Because I know that there's a lot of a lot of modern day games that came out around that time, where it's just like you go back and play them and they don't hold up at all for some
Oh
reason.
no, this is gonna age very well. Compare this. Let's compare this to, let's see, what did the original God of War? Here we go.
Oh yeah,
God
this
of War
definitely controls
original.
better than
God
OG
of,
God of War.
God of War OG came out 2005. So yeah,
Right there, I don't know.
2005.
No.
Almost been 20 years, boys.
No!
Almost 20 years. But
Stop.
18 years. But if you compare, like, so God of War 2018, it feels like it came out like this year, or at least in the past 2 years, like guaranteed. Like the controls are very solid and very intuitive. It works for the gameplay style that they're going for. Everything's responsive. The game feel, as vague of a word as it is, it just feels good to get into combat and like juggle shit. Now, it's not going to be as flashy as Days of Old, nor is it going to be like your Devil May Cry or Ninja Gaiden, where like everything you can just like smoothly juggle into like a billion hit air combo. But it's Kratos has weight. Like, he is a very thick, chunky man, and he hits like a truck.
You can see that even just watching gameplay videos. You can
He
feel the weight.
he's not like two shit tons of bricks, but he is a hefty, meaty man, and he hits like
He's
a
a
truck.
Hey,
He's
hey,
a
hey.
man.
He
He,
worked for
he,
that
he,
bottom.
he's a man. He is a big beefy dude, but this game will last a very long time. It's going to be at the point where this game will be remastered for like the PS6 or whatever future console comes out, because it's just that good. And all they got to do is give it the treatment of like, oh, up to 8K textures, up to 120 FPS, or whatever the high frame rate.
They just Last of Us Part 1, God of War
Last of Us,
2018.
they Last of Us Part 1 a remaster. They don't do the remake. They just remaster it, and you're good. But yeah, like at this time, God of War and Spider-Man, like, kind of a weird. I go into a Sony exclusive segue here. Those two games are going to last a very, very long time. Like a very, very long time. They play. It just feels super good to pick it up and just go. And you really like. But taking a quote from Spider-Man, you really feel like Kratos. You really feel like you're the God of War.
Yeah, because the game did come out like kind of late in the last gen of gaming. So for it to run as well as it does, and for it to like be such a high quality game, and now for like the newest sequel to be coming, like God of War Ragnarok, to have come out last year and was Game of the Year last year. Was it? It was. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was.
Mhm.
It was.
So it still holds up.
Actually, no, it wasn't Game of the Year, but it was a contender. Elden Ring won Game of the Year.
Oh yeah, it was
won a
close.
shit
It
ton
was
of
damn
awards.
close. It took a lot of shit though. It took damn near the whole show though.
Everybody's like, "Don't you fucking dare!"
God damn.
Yeah, it took damn near everything, but yeah, it was
like,
still a good game.
Like The Last of Us Part 2.
Mhm.
Best multiplayer game, The Last of Us Part 2. Best MMORPG, The Last of Us Part 2.
Here's my question. This is just a little rant here. How the fuck did The Last of Us Part 2 beat out Ghost of Tsushima?
Easy.
How to beat Final Fantasy VII Remake,
money.
as I want to say, but that is neither here
Money.
nor there.
If listen, if Final Fantasy VII Remake, if Final Fantasy VII Remake released fully as like a multi-disc game, that shit would have blew up everything. Holy fuck.
But yeah,
yes, back in the day, like 30 years ago, we had to swap discs to get to the next part of the game.
Oh
it was
my
a 3-disc game.
I remember playing Metal Gear 4. They made that joke like, "Oh, we don't have to do that anymore." I'm like, "What?"
No, fucking Final Fantasy 13 on the 360 was a multi-disc game. That was a 2-disc game.
That.
Oh my! We're back at this again.
Oh, yeah, it's cool that you enjoyed your
Dead
time with
Space
God
2?
of War, though.
Oh, yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah. Are you gonna are you gonna pick up Ragnarok after this, or are you gonna like wait until you have better tech and then play it on that?
I'm gonna pick up Ragnarok not right after it, but it's probably a little bit of both.
Okay.
Because funny going into speaking of this and going to touching on my backlog a bit. David, you had showed us a video about like conquering the backlog and how itemizing it just makes it a little bit less daunting. So I did that. I've been updating it. So I have a spreadsheet of the games that I've played to my knowledge recently and finished, and I wrote like a little review. So it's like, all right, is this a game I'm gonna go back in and do new game plus, DLC content, etc., etc.
Nobody got time for no goddamn new game plus nowadays, bro.
Exactly.
You mean new game plus?
Man, there's one game.
Wait, I'm gonna do it as many times as I want.
Listen, there's one game in my heart that is worthy of a new game plus, and that's Yakuza 0. But maybe Yakuza 7 is right behind it. But other than that, it's just like, hey, if I ain't got shit to do for a good amount of time, or there's nothing that I want to play, then I'll just boot it up, play it, get through it, and then relive the experience again.
I mean, I'm currently going through Yakuza 0 with you.
Yeah, that's a game that's worth going back over, at least to get like just to experience it again, or at least just to get like all the good shit and become God for real.
Good that you are being dad of God of boy.
Dad of God of boy of war.
Overall, God of War is a very, very solid game. I do.
If you have
a good story.
If you have not played it, I highly recommend it. It is a very solid, like one of the best storytelling games of like that gen. And it's worth sitting down with like the 30, 40 plus hours just to get through it. You don't have to do the other side shit. That's just on you if you have the time or wherewithal. I heard that stuff's pretty difficult. But
how's the backtrack in that game?
It's not too bad. Like it'll be like you'll see something and you're like, man, how do I get there? Literally 5 minutes later. Oh, nice. It's not like, yeah. Thank you. It's like kind of like that. It's not like Bloodborne or Souls level where like you find a gate, you can't open it, or you find a path, like a secondary path that goes somewhere else, but you can't get to it. But if you spend like another 2 hours in that zone, you'll find that shortcut that brings you back to it. The backtracking is pretty minimal.
So it's not like a Metroidvania type stuff where it's just like, oh, this door's locked by this ability.
No, I haven't run into that yet. I'm assuming there are some, but even then, it's like a hey, here's this door or here's this box that you have to break with this power, but you get that power in like the next 2 minutes. So turn around and do this.
Yeah, they don't have things too crazy in that game.
Yeah, you can, and if you use your gamer sense, so to speak, and if you're intuitive enough, you'll spot things pretty easily. Like I'm not gonna go for all the collectibles, obviously, but it's just like, oh hey, there's this chest over here, and in that chest, there's like an upgrade to my health. All right, let me spend like 5 minutes to backtrack, keep it pinned in the back of my brain, come back to it, get it, move on.
All right, my last question is because you know I struggle with this. It's like looting that treasure hunter sense that fires off all the synapses in that single brain cell I have.
Yeah, the unga bunga ooh shiny.
Yeah.
So like,
is it overwhelming or
no? It's pretty minimal. Like for example, you'll be walking your path, right, and you'll see a box, and like there are a lot of boxes that are breakable that have like a little bit of extra upgrade material. You're not going to be like, ooh, a piece of candy. Ooh, a piece of candy. Every like 5
This isn't
seconds.
Borderlands. Where you're just like...
This isn't Borderlands where it's going to explode. It says, wow, look at this rainbow of colors for this item that's super rare. No, it's like, oh, hey, you can smash that crate open if you want. But at the same time, you can also go ahead and just move on to the next thing. No problem. Because you're going to get those drops eventually anyway.
Definitely.
So house cleaning with like items and whatnot is rather simple then.
Yeah. It's very minimal. Like nothing you really have to concern yourself with too much.
Cool. All right. Let's see. I'm going to talk about something that I've been playing. Something I low key actually didn't know I would be super excited for until it dropped. But I have been playing a lot of Minecraft Legends on Xbox Game Pass via PC and my Xbox Series X. So, yeah, we got King Two Darks super hype in the chat. He's like our native super heavy Minecraft fan. But I've been playing with him, and also I've been playing solo. And Minecraft Legends is very good.
Just kidding.
Minecraft Legends is a very very interesting direction for the Minecraft franchise. So
Yeah, I'm
as you guys
interested to see
know,
what you guys think about it.
Minecraft has been like starting to branch their franchise into different genres. So like you guys know, there was like Minecraft Dungeons like the last 3-4 years, which is basically a Diablo light game, which was basically Minecraft characters that's top down isometric, and you're watching the numbers go up, going for those drops, beating the shit out of mobs, and going through to the end of the level, and that's it. But Minecraft Legends is, let's take the world of Minecraft, but let's make it an open world RTS game, real time strategy game. But the way that this is more appealing for me is because I fucking hate strategy games. You understand? I don't play Age of Empires. I don't play Crusader Kings. I don't play Civ. I don't play none of that. So an RTS game makes my
how you
yeah.
I'm sorry to cut you off. No, how you're describing it, it's reminding me of Brutal Legend.
Yeah, so a lot of people yeah. So a lot of people compare it to Brutal Legend, since that's more of like a down to the ground, like you're controlling a specific character that's controlling characters type of situation. But for me, I didn't really get into like Brutal Legend as like when I was younger on the 360 days. But for me, it's a little more comparable for me as a Nintendo fan. It's comparable to Pikmin. But it's like Pikmin, but give it a lot more layers, you know. So for like example, for the Pikmin angle, you're playing as Alamar, who can pick up his Pikmin, which are basically his army, his soldiers, and then he's using them to fight enemies and also to do a whole bunch of objectives throughout the map. And then in order to get more Pikmin, you basically just have to get the pellets, take them to the onion, and you get more Pikmin. In Minecraft Legends, you're basically doing the Minecraft thing of going around this open world map space. And the way that you're doing this is you're always consistently, your character is always specifically on a mount. So you're either on like a horse or a bird, a beetle, or a tiger. So each of those have their own different like little maneuverability options. Like the bird can like hover like longer than other mounts can. The beetle can climb walls, so it's easier for like navigating mountainous areas. And the tiger has quote unquote the fastest movement speed. So if you're trying to like get from point A to point B a little bit faster without fast travel, you can use the tiger. And the horse is a horse. So, and then in order
wouldn't expect anything else.
It's a horse. In order to summon your in order to do actions, you're not like kind of like using like orders or anything. You're basically kind of doing this in like the power of music. So you have like this magical loot that you got from these like 3 world gods of the Minecraft universe, and they have these little allay fairies which can either craft things or mine things for you. And you're basically you can use these allays to mine resources like stone, wood, like iron, coal, and all that when you get the ability to do so. You can also craft spawners, which spawn these golems, which are pretty much like cobblestone golems, wood golems that have like longer range. Cobblestone golems can like break down structures a little easier if you have like a whole party of them. And then there's also other ones you can get to when you have different materials to summon them. And also there's like the traditional Minecraft mobs as well, like creepers, zombies, and skeletons. But those in this game, they're friendly. You like these characters instead of fearing for your life when you hear a creeper hiss. Now you're like, yes, I found creepers to blow up this arrow tower. So it's a much like different take on the Minecraft formula for sure. And yeah, like King Tidar said, all the overworld mobs are allies. And
what you're telling me is I find an Enderman and I could go sick them on all.
So Endermen aren't in the game yet, right?
God damn it!
They're not in the game yet. However, Minecraft Dungeons had like a 5-year plan or like a 4-year plan. So over the course of the game, there was the base game that was out for a while, but then maybe 2 years later, they started rolling out more DLC maps. They started rolling out more like mobs and stuff. We ended up in the Nether by the end of all of the Minecraft dungeon stuff, and there were Endermen and things that you were fighting in the game. So I don't doubt that there will be different mobs that aren't in the game already. So currently there's only creepers, villagers. There's creepers, warrior villagers, skeletons, and zombies. But I don't doubt that you're gonna find Endermen. There's probably gonna be like witches or like the sorcerers or whatever the heck they're called in Minecraft. You might be able to get one of those new note monsters. I forget what they're called. You'll probably say it in the chat, King Two Darks. Those things that are like that work via echolocation in the caves or whatever. Those things. So they will most likely add, wardens. They most likely will add wardens late game or something like that. But how you're, yeah.
I was just gonna say, is there an overarching story?
There is,
story mode?
yeah. So there is
Okay.
a campaign. So you can play the campaign either single player or you can play it 4-player co-op. Honestly, playing the game co-op with friends is very beneficial. You can play the whole game single player, which is totally fine. The gameplay rotation or the gameplay loop is very doable, which is basically you're going throughout the world map to fight these piglin camps, which are basically like these. I don't know if piglins existed already, but you're fighting these piglin camps, which basically you destroy those to get prismarine and gold, which you can use to craft improvements at your home base, which you can use to make new crafting recipes, which is like, oh, now I can spawn creepers, or now I can spawn different golems, or I can create more defensive things for my bases and stuff like that. So you do always have to consistently be fighting the piglin army on the overworld map to get upgradable materials. And then also, the overarching story of the campaign is that there's like major piglin camps, like actually fortresses on the overworld map. But in order to be able to fight those, you have to have the right materials. So you're going to the smaller camps, defeating them, getting the things to upgrade, and then you're making a bigger army and upgrading yourself and other stuff like that too. There's like points of interest around the overworld map as well. And being able to access those on your own is fine, but then also just having an additional friend or two with you is fun too, because now you're all pooling inventory, and you're all able to split up across the overworld map, and now you're able to get things done a little bit faster. So it's like, oh, we need to get some more materials so we can upgrade our numbers that we can rally of mobs and stuff. Oh, so we need to go to the piglin camp and get more prismarine. Okay, you can go do that. I'll go over here and farm some redstone and coal, and then I'll also start working on the defenses for our base in case the piglins attack us at night and stuff like that. So there's a
Okay,
whole
so
bunch of like,
that was actually my next question, because you said this was an RTS, and I do know that in RTS games you have to worry about your own base getting attacked. I know there's always like some kind of back and forth, and it's good to know that there is some level of resource management.
Yeah, there is always resource management going on, and there's like villages. There's actual like villages that are across the map as well, and you can use those as like fast travel points, and you can also use those as like points to get materials from, because all of the villages have like shared chests for you to go to for resources later, but you just have to keep them protected so you can build like walls and gates and arrow towers, redstone cannons, all this stuff that you farm for resources. You can build those around those villages to keep them protected, so when you need to go to them you can. However, the piglin armies will try to overtake those villages, so as long as you have that set up where that they can be protected, you'll be good to go for that. However, the campaign is the campaign and it's its own thing. However, this is just getting you prepared and used to the gameplay loop, which comes in handy when you're trying to play online multiplayer PvP. Now, Minecraft Legends have PvP. Minecraft Dungeons didn't have PvP. It was specifically PvE. For Minecraft to now have a specific new game that's RTS and PvP is very interesting. But the main thing is like you can jump into that immediately, but you have now access to pretty much everything you can get in the campaign. You have access to online in the multiplayer. But now it's just like, okay, how efficient are you at this game to where you can make these things work? So in the multiplayer, there's randomly procedurally generated maps, and your team of four, up to four players, it can be base 3v3, but up to 4v4, you both have your own base of operations on the map, and you're basically trying to protect it from the other team while you're also trying to defeat and dismantle their base of operations. So it's kind of like a League of Legends situation where you're like, you have to destroy my core, I have to destroy your core. So now it's like, okay, we need one person going around gathering materials. We need one person going to piglin camps, getting higher grade materials so that we can get big, so we can build upgrades. We need one person going around finding where the mobs are so we can recruit them, so we can have creepers to blow their shit up. And we also need someone that's actively defending our base against them or attacking their base so we can start making headway for that. So there has to be a lot of communication going on between teammates to make things run very efficiently. But if everyone knows what they're doing and there is good communication, I can see the online being very fun and very like a good strategic game, a good change of pace from the usual like video games I'm used to playing. Me and Alante, for example, have been playing a lot of the campaign, so we're mostly doing PvE. So we haven't had to deal with PvP yet, but mostly because we want to have at least one or two other people that know how the game works so we can go into PvP prepared, so we can be like, okay, now we can split up jobs properly and we know what we need to do so we can get this thing going correctly. Um, but in terms of like this game being an RTS, like I said, it's very approachable if you're not used to this specific genre. This game is made to be played on a controller. So you don't have to worry about like playing it specifically on mouse and keyboard and the controls being
Oh, that's
super
good.
awkward on controller. They put controller first in this situation, but also obviously you can play it on mouse and keyboard, but I would recommend controller. Since it seems like they mapped everything, because the game is crossplay and it's on everything. It's on Switch, it's on PlayStation, it's on Xbox, it's on PC. So the game's made to be played on all of those different controller layouts and also be crossplay. So I do recommend it. I didn't expect to be as into it as I am,
Mhm.
and the fact that it's on Game Pass is also like a really huge sell as well. But I think it's also like $30 standalone if you want to have Game Pass. But I still think it's really
Okay.
much worth it. I think also I believe it can be like two-player local co-op on the same console if you're playing on Xbox Series X. I'm not sure, I haven't tried it yet, but I do believe it
Mm,
can be a local console or PC co-op. So yeah.
Um, my one of my question is accessibility. Like, does the game can the game get overwhelmed? Like like how easy it was for us to jump into Crash. Is it easy to jump
the
into
game
like
the game ramps up things in a very steady pace for the campaign. It drops you in, it gives you a tutorial that's maybe like 10 minutes to get you used to the controls of moving around, mining resources, creating spawners and things like that. And then it
mm,
dumps you into the overworld, but however, there's still like a story that you're following where it takes you to like your first village that's getting overrun by piglin. It takes you to like your first piglin fortress, and then it starts to introduce you to the actual Minecraft mobs like creeper skeletons, zombies, and stuff like that. And then over time, there's more things going on the overworld map. And by the time all of that stuff starts to happen, you already understand how the flow of the game is, and also how the game controls. And it also teaches you how to like build your defenses, like how to build walls, how to build arrow towers, how to build all that type of stuff. So the game really is very accommodating and very easy to understand in terms of starting from scratch and not knowing how these type of games work.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Hmm.
all
Yeah,
right.
these games
We
can
like
get
to hear
very
it.
daunting with like all the resource management and everything.
Hmm.
Like
Like if
there
you're just looking at it, there's a lot going on, but I guarantee you, if you like play the tutorial, it is very easy.
well, I asked that because there are times where like I'll get into a game and I get very overwhelmed and it's my own detriment because like I can read a lot, I can process a lot, but there are times where it's just like low brain power. Like, is it one of these games where it's just like, yeah, I just had a long day, I just want to sit down and just play this game, de-stress, or just like I just unplug for the day.
Hmm.
And I asked that because I know that there are some games where it's just like, say, like fucking Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a game you could easily jump in on, but let's be real here. You're probably gonna jump in and have a bad time because of the 12-hour sweat lords.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if
Max Prestige Diamond Camo.
So playing the game PvP, I've like been watching people stream it, and I've also watched YouTube videos of people recording their matches. And the PvP, it's not like you can get steamrolled, right? There's always a slow ramp up because everyone has to get their stuff together, everyone has to make their defenses and stuff like that. So it's not like if you play online, you're getting just like freaking decimated. However, if you don't know what you're doing or you don't have team communication, that is possible. However, the fact that this game also does have a very beefy local like private match PvE mode that does keep a lot of the stress away of wanting to go against other people or having to worry about any of that type of stuff. So it is a very good like standalone um just chill Minecraft experience with those extra like strategic layers to it. Like King Two Darks in chat says, yeah, it's like a semi brain off game. Like once you know how the gameplay loop works, all you're doing now is just you have like music on, you have a podcast on, and you're walking around getting resources, and then you're just going to like piglin camps, storming their camps with your golems and your creepers and stuff, and you're just doing whatever you got to do. Like you don't have to think too super hard about what happens in this game once you figure it out how it works.
I think with games like Minecraft, like just Minecraft as a whole, like they've done a pretty solid job at making a pretty good semi-brain on kind of game. Where if you just like David said, if you just want to have a podcast going or like a let's play of like your favorite YouTuber or whatever, just something going on in the background, and while you just zen out, just vibe and just enjoy it. Like I think Mojang has done a really good job with like games like this. Like I haven't played the Minecraft Dungeons, but like I can assume it might be something similar where it's like you don't have to use all of your brain power and like min max everything. You can just kind of jump in, play for a bit, and like relax till either you fall asleep, or into like you just want to kill some time for a bit and just like de-stress from like
they've been really good at making games that touch into other genres, and for them to take Minecraft and go into the top-down Diablo-like genre, and then also go into the like RTS genre. I think those are two of like the best things they could have gone with for Minecraft up front. I don't know if they're gonna do any other genre altering things with Minecraft in the future.
Cart.
Honestly though, like they can do whatever. It's Minecraft. They can do whatever they want, you know. Like honestly, if they wanted to like straight up just make a legit Minecraft battle royale, I know there's already modes for that in the game, but if they wanted to make one specifically where it's like a battle royale PvPvE type thing, that would be kind of cool if they like isolated something specifically for that. But like I said, it's interesting where they take these elements and then just they've even been like Smash Bros. So the Minecraft genre or the Minecraft property is very flexible. And last thing I'll say in terms of like the depth of this game, there's like your journal that you have in the game, and every time you like run into a new material, you run into something new on the overworld, or run a new enemy, or you learn a new recipe, all of that will be logged in your book. And there's also like lore in the game that gets explained in like little blurbs in your journal. And there's also a how to play section of the settings. So it's like the game teaches you how to play the game base, but then there's also some little extra things that they don't really teach you per se, but you can read up about them in the how to play section of the settings. And it's pretty concise, it's pretty understandable, but then there's like an extra layer of depth that the game doesn't really go too deep into, because it's like they give you all the tools, they give you all the defenses, they give you all of the mobs that you need and stuff like that. But now getting proficient with it and learning how to use those tools efficiently and quickly and optimally, like figuring out what's the best thing to build first, what's the best placement to make a really busted ass like defensive fortress for your core when you're playing PvP. I'm looking forward to seeing what players do when they like get more time with these elements, and then once they start adding DLC with new mobs, new materials, new whatever the heck, like that's going to be really interesting in the long run. So I'm on board to see what Mojang does with Minecraft Legends specifically. So that'll be cool.
So I look forward to seeing what happens next. It might be one of those where like I'll just hit up David or hit up Alante, like, yo, I got it on the Game Pass.
It's
I'm
on
PC,
Game Pass. It's easy.
It is
in.
on easy,
Mhm.
easy clap.
So my very last question:
Mhm.
how's the music?
Oh,
Is it
it's
going to
still
put you
good.
to sleep?
It's still good. I mean, so the music is
music, absolute dog shit.
so the Minecraft music is super chill, but also it's like it kind of has like this like epic adventurous theme going on, since it's like you are kind of like running an army, sort of say, in Minecraft Legends. So it is a little bit more adventurous in theme and tone, to like match you basically storming a nether fortress with little pigs in it, and you're like also seeing like these big ass like nope war mounts and stuff like that. So, but I have been turning off the music and playing my own music on Spotify. I'm just like listening to like my likes, or listening to like the hip hop gamer playlist on Spotify and stuff when I'm playing.
I only ask that because I don't want to play an RTS game where I get into a groove and I start to relax, and next thing I know I hear is dun dun dun, and you just pass out.
Well, yeah, your ass gonna fall to fucking sleep. He's gonna be playing. All right, let's do this shit.
Yeah. So the music is good. It is a more epic score than we're used to with like traditional Minecraft music. So
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
I love a good soundtrack on a good game.
hmm Yeah, so Minecraft
no,
Legends,
definitely.
definitely recommended checking that game out. Like I said, me and Alante are definitely going to be playing it a lot more in the coming months. It's gonna probably stay downloaded on my Xbox and my PC, because the game, it is also cross progression too, so that's really cool.
Ooh.
So if you have
Ooh.
something going on with your campaign in one platform and you're jumping onto the other, your progression does carry over. So that's really good. But speaking of games with good ass music, you know
Hell yeah.
you know where we're going with this, Brendan.
You know what? It's time for the
Ooh,
percolator.
boy.
It's time for the percolator. You've been
time for the
playing a
percolator.
lot of.
Hell
Basically,
yeah.
this game got shadow dropped, and it's a lot of people's goatees up front. We're
It
talking
has
about Hi-Fi
no
Rush
right
people.
being this fucking good.
We're talking about Hi-Fi Rush people. So take it away, Brendan. Talking about Hi-Fi Rush.
All right. So for those who don't know, Hi-Fi Rush is a character action rhythm game made by the same people who did Evil Within. Crazy, right? It's like out of fucking nowhere, one of my favorite games of all time. Like I love character action games. Like that's one of my big staples. I know David and Mark know.
Mhm.
And I've really been getting into rhythm games. Like my most favorite rhythm game lately was Bullets Per Minute, where it is a first person shooter like Doom, but you reload and you use your abilities on rhythm.
Yeah.
So this game, pretty similar idea, and it has so much going for it. Like the art style is phenomenal, especially with the transitions between scenes. The music is banging. And they have two modes. They have the regular mode where there's licensed music and like either for boss fights or certain stages, and then they have the non-licensed music where it's just like all custom. It's all in-house royalty-free renditions of, well, not royalty-free, but DMCA safe renditions of those tracks, and phenomenal. Like best soundtrack in the
Good
game
soundtrack, yeah.
in a long time, because the soundtrack makes the game. Like
So
it's
I instantly have to ask you this:
yes.
do you prefer the DMCA free or the licensed music?
They're both
for
good.
Both.
A lot of people are
Because
arguing about this.
Because it's on Spotify. Like the licensed music, the songs they use in the licensed music that they use in the game, and the in-house stuff that they made for the game are both on Spotify, and it's phenomenal. Because like, especially if you go from this one level, like one of the last levels in the game, there's a song they play by Prodigy. It's an old song, but it's fantastic. I listened to that song I've heard for years and years and years. I popped the fuck off. More on that later. But when I heard the in-house rendition of it, it was still very good. It had the same beat, it had the same rhythm to it, and I'm like, all right, I could definitely play this. I finished the game, 11 out of 10, one of my favorite games. I did all the challenge missions. I'm on my New Game Plus, where I'm playing it on very hard. And like I might do like the Rhythm Master, which is like the highest difficulty, because very hard. It's not that hard, especially once you know how to master your combos and your techniques. But if like myself and like my friend Javi, like my girlfriend Javi love this game, and to put it in perspective, it makes it easier. I'm gonna quote this from one of my favorite podcasters. Mark, you know where I'm going with this. It's Guitar Nero. Basically, just
Guitar
take Nero
Nero.
from Devil May Cry.
Guitar
just
Nero.
take Nero. Just take Nero from Devil May Cry and just give him a guitar instead. That's really it. Characters are hilarious. Like the writing in this game is very, very good. Like really good comical moments. They got some good laughs out of me. Chai, the main character, is a complete idiot, and people have been making comparisons to Chai and like the gang on to like the Futurama crew, and I'm like, Chai is a Philip J. Fry. Chai is Fry for fucking
Chai is Fry.
Chai is Fry for fucking sure. Like Chai is Fry, fucking Peppermint is Leela. It's so good. Like everything about it is phenomenal. Like the animation, how everything is on rhythm. They make sure you. So at this, what's so great about the design for this game, as opposed to a game, let's say, Metal Hellsinger just came out relatively recently. First person shooter on Game Pass. It's like Bullets per Minute, but more metal oriented. It's somewhat intuitive. Like you got the beat counters on screen and all that to tell you like if you're on to help you get into the rhythm. But this game does it so much better. Like the world, the UI, the enemies, the character, the hit sound effects, the item pickup sound effects, everything is on rhythm. So you cannot miss a beat. It's like it's so great too, because it doesn't put it in your face where it's like, oh hey, here's a note chart at the bottom of the screen, or here's nothing at all. Good fucking luck. No, there's always elements.
What about our friends that can't count beats or can't dance or just don't have rhythm, period?
So the game is still user friendly when it comes to non-rhythm savvy people, right? So I'm used to getting rhythm games, and even then I don't really play like the big heavy games like Project Miku or fucking like Project Diva or DDR or anything like that. But I was real big into Guitar Hero and Rock Band, and just fusing action and rhythm on music on rhythm is just so good to me. It's like it's addicting. This game is addicting. I just love jumping in, going into the lab, practicing my combos, cranking up the music tempo, doing faster combos, and like doing like the challenge rooms, doing the challenge tower, playing my favorite levels again. It's just a top-down amazing experience. You do get, when it comes to being on rhythm, like fully on rhythm, you get extra damage on like your combo enders. Like you get like an extra launcher where you get like a ground bounce, or you launch them super high in the air, and you can chain your combos more and more and become even more stylish. And then there's like a bunch of really, really good mechanics in the game as well. Short game.
All
like
right,
I want to say maybe 10 hours.
Yeah.
Or less. Real short game, but you want to jump back in. Like
it is a sweet spot length, yeah.
It's perfect. Like it's one of those, it doesn't overstay its welcome. Like none of the bits and the humor is like dry or too ham-fisted or corny. It's like very good comedic timing. Like gets you a good laugh. Just a very good feel. Like
yeah.
I can't get enough of this game.
It's been actually giving me like people have been bringing up the conversation of Lollipop Chainsaw again, and this is definitely a game that would have existed back in that time frame when we're getting a lot of character action games.
I would have went crazy.
Yeah, like Chai and Juliet, like definitely like really good like games where you're just beating the shit out of stuff. But like Brendan was saying, how we're having so many games that honestly, what a time to be a rhythm game fan and also like action games, or just good time to have rhythm in your body in general, because we have like Rift of the Necro Dancer, we have Crypt of the Necro Dancer, we have BPM, Metal Hellsinger, all these other like first person shooter like rhythm games, but this is the first time we've gotten, at least that I know, a character action rhythm game. And it's so well done.
Let's not forget about God of Rock.
Yeah, God of Rock. Yeah, God of Rock's also
a rhythm
good.
fighting game.
Yeah, so like we have a lot of really cool rhythm-based games right now.
We eating good.
So rhythm game fans are eating real good, and action game fans eating really good, because like the last really good and this is coming off the heels of Bayonetta 3, which is like one of the most anticipated games one of the most anticipated sequels in a long time, and it was okay. But jumping into this, breath of fresh air, went right into New Game Plus.
The fact that
Right
they
into the
shadow
challenge
dropped
mission.
it, they told us about it the
They
same
just
day, and
dropped
we're
it.
like, by the way, play this game.
It was just like, oh yeah, you see this cool shit? It's available in the next couple hours.
And it's available right now.
It's just
And
like
this would from what little I've played of this would rank in my top 3 character action games out there.
it's
And
great.
this is coming from a guy that just fanboys over DMC all the
Yeah.
fucking time.
The game was worked on by someone who made DMC.
Yes, Shinji Mikami.
Yeah.
Was it Shinji Mikami? Or yes, it was.
Oh, yeah, the
He worked
combo,
on,
yeah, literally the combos.
Yeah.
Some of the combos look like Devil May Cry combos because it's
It's
the
just
same
like-
dude.
It's just like I would love to see more, like how Crypto Necro Dancer has like, all right, they did the collab with Nintendo to do that one, to do that version. Like what was
Cadence of
I
Hyrule.
forget. Cadence of Hyrule. That's what it was. I'm like, nah, what the fuck is it called? But yeah, Cadence of Hyrule. Like, I would love to see them like team up with like Capcom and be like, hey, we're gonna put Chai or even like put Nero in like this kind of situation where he has to fight on rhythm and like you fight till and they remix the soundtracks, just like the main themes of DMC 5 and like the older ones, remix that into a way where it's like, hey, you can still relive. It's similar to how like you have like the Kingdom Hearts rhythm games or like the Final Fantasy rhythm games, where it's like a collection of the soundtrack and it is cram it all together and remix it in a way where you can play you can play on beat and fight on rhythm to it. Where you can be like, okay, if you use Devil Trigger, for example, you don't have to worry about staying on rhythm because it automatically does it for you. Or it's like, if you hit your rhythm timing, if you perfect your rhythm timing, you build meter, you build Devil Trigger, you increase your combo score, you get more orbs like at the end of your combo or at the end of like that segment, stuff like that. Like there's a lot of different ways you can really go about it, and I want to see more of this game. Now, I love it how it's a Game Pass, like just day one, they shadow dropped. I would have bought this game.
Yeah, that's like the
all
one thing
my
for
money.
me. I
would've
wish
bought
this
that
game
right
was
away.
physical. Like
I already-
Limited Run hasn't even
I already
made
paid for that.
anything. I want it to be
Yeah. I already
physical.
Paid for that shit.
I need this to be physical. I want like a vinyl soundtrack of like the in-game of like the custom tracks in game. I want either like a Chai like shirt to come with it or like a statue. I just want everything for this game because this game is one of my favorites. Like it's been my addiction since it came out.
Yeah, and Xbox would be foolish to not try to like do more stuff with these characters.
Oh yeah, no,
Honestly.
definitely. So they have like a brand new like original idea and like it popped off hella hard and you know it's gonna win awards. Like I could see a sequel or an expansion to it. And there's like another thing that's great about this game is that like it wholly encourages you, hey, you should play it again. There's some stuff that you might have missed. Like not gonna drop spoilers, but there's some stuff.
Yeah,
And
I
it's
still need
just
to go
like,
back through and find that
if
stuff.
you do the stuff, it is so worth it. It is so worth it.
I also love all the pop culture Easter eggs that are in this game.
The second boss battle is dead ass just JoJo, bro.
Yeah,
Second boss battle is just a JoJo reference.
He has stands. He has cardboard stands of himself everywhere. It's just like, what?
Yeah.
Like, there's a reference in there everywhere. This game heavily references its own game. So it's just like this game, you're running into like references from other titles from Tango Gameworks and like Bethesda Studios. So you'll be like, oh hey, I know this character. Oh, I've seen this before. And then one thing I realized is that pretty much a lot of the characters are named after food, which is pretty great.
Yeah, I got Chai, Peppermint,
Rekka is a type of ramen. Like,
yeah.
I learned that recently. I was like, oh.
What was it? Cinnamon?
Yep, cinnamon, macaron.
Macaron, yeah. And then there's
Yeah,
808. There's 808.
And then there's let's talk about 808. I've never seen a cat
I read
so
that
damn
as
cute.
Bob.
Bruh,
I read that
bruh,
as Bob. I'm not gonna lie.
Read it in Elite.
Bruh, holy shit.
808 for best pet of the year so
Bruh.
far.
Best
cat of the year.
pet of the year. Best cat of the year. It's just so That's Bob. It's your stupid ass. But yeah, it's just. And what's cool about 808 is that like the sounds that 808 makes is the 808 like beat pad.
Mhm.
So it's just like Jesus Christ, the references.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Good
Like
game.
everything about this game is like top notch. My only complaint, I wish I want it to be physical. That's my only complaint.
Yeah, I feel like they're gonna eventually at some point this year they're gonna have to drop like a physical version.
They
Limited run
have
or
they
something.
have to talk.
They're
They
gonna have to.
they have to
As
talk
cool
to
as
Limited Run with that.
We're not
cool as it
pulling a
would be
Scott
hell-
Pilgrim with this one. We're not doing it.
Oh hell no.
As cool as it would be, as cool as it would be to have it physical. Are you sure that we will get physical? Because
I'm not sure.
this
That's
is
what I'm
just-
saying. We need it.
Yeah, we're not.
This is
I'm pretty confident we might because there's a lot of hype around it.
Hear me out, because a lot of physical media for great games are just dying. It's physical media for gaming is dying though.
This game just came out digital only, and everyone's like, "This game is good. We want to buy it physical." So we're telling
Yeah.
Xbox and Tango GameWorks, work with Limited Run or something. Give us this game physical because we don't want to lose it at all.
This is one
I
of those
refuse.
games that like this is one of those games that like I will come back to in like 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
Just to play it again. And like I would just do it like from scratch, a new save file. I will do this game again because it's that good.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, the game is fun.
So it's Devil May Cry 3 good.
It's Devil May
You
Cry
like it.
5 good.
You like
it's
it.
DMC 5 good, Mark.
Mhm.
Like DMC 5 is the best it's gotten. DMC 3 right behind it. No, sorry. DMC 3, 4, and 5 were the best of that series. This is DMC 5 levels good. This is why, like, when I saw
Okay, so if we're gonna say DMC 4, it's DMC 4 Special Edition.
Special
not
Edition,
base DMC 4.
Basically, DMC 4 was fine, but Special Edition, yeah. No, but yeah, this is why, like, when I picked up this game, I'm like, there are two people on my mind that need to play this: Mark and Javi. They need to play this game. I know Javi's
Action
huge
game,
in
rhythm
games.
game. Yep.
Exactly, and I know, like, oh, Mark's gonna
He's
love
gonna.
this shit.
Did you say he's
gonna
gonna
come? He's gonna come. He's gonna nut. He's about to hit that because I know I did.
You and many people on the internet.
I gotta get through No More Heroes 3 first, okay?
Oh no, no, for sure, definitely do that, and then play Hi-Fi Rush. Don't worry, I will be helping you get a PC and get all shit set up for you. If somehow we don't, I will find a way to get you an Xbox Series S just to put at your desk, and you can just plug in your Elgato and
giving
just
those
go
bitches
nuts.
away.
See,
take that ass.
Hi-Fi Rush is already in my library. Hi-Fi Rush is already in my library.
You just can't play it.
I haven't tried yet. I'm kind of trying to get through all my backlog of games.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. That's fair. But keep it going with the action games, but move into a different genre, more like action side scroller. We're talking about Have a Nice Death. Mark's been playing it. I also have played this game. I haven't played it in a while though. I played this game back in PAX East 2022 when I heard about it initially, but I haven't touched it since then. But Mark, you've been playing it. Let's talk about it.
Man, Have a Nice Death. Have you listen? We've all been overworked. We could all relate to Death because that man is overworked,
and he is
just
Death.
wants a cup of coffee.
Yeah. Death
So
is a mood in this game, bro.
He is, bro. He's so great.
You're just the loading screens aren't even great for this game because it's just literally him in an elevator with the elevator music, just sipping on coffee, waiting to get to the next level.
I just want this version of Grim Reaper like on a shirt. Just like, yeah, that's a T-Turtle shirt right there, man.
So I've been playing Have a Nice Death. Have a Nice Death is a single player roguelite game. You have your different difficulties. You have your hard, your medium, and your easy. I can't remember the names that they give the struggles. But so you play as Death. You're going through. You're overworked and just covered in paperwork, and it's time for the CEO to come down on his business. He's like, "All right, get back to work, you fucks." And he's just over here And the first boss I come across is Brad. I'm just like, okay, yeah, no, I got through this the first level pretty easy. And one thing I've learned with this game is after the first boss is a wake up call, because if you're not paying attention, you are getting your ass slapped. There are combos, there are items, there are all kinds of quirky characters and lore. First off, I love Pumpkin. Pumpkin is adorable. That
Merch,
intern
easy
deserves to
merch,
be
so
paid.
cute.
Merch.
Pumpkin needs to get paid. Stop
Mhm.
making them an intern.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, there are a lot of characters that I'm still learning about. Like you have the union representative Joe. That's that lazy piece of shit. And then I love the fact that with each of these levels, there is like different variations and different changes. Um, and it's never the same. Because there will be times like say like you've had like 20 something runs, and then on like your 15th run when you encountered Brad, he looked a bit different. He had a security gate up and everything. The whole boss fight changed and beat my ass. um there are different types of sights, different type of abilities you can pick up, and then here's how with every roguelike, you could get boons or debuffs. They're called curses, and you get it from this guy called T. Osha. Osha.
That's not OSHA certified.
So yeah, you could get curses that increases like whatever spells you get or whatever attacks you do. And I love the aesthetic. The music is great. The gameplay loop feels smooth. It reacts as fast as you react. There
The
are
animation
there are
carries.
Oh yeah, no, it's
mwah.
I could easily see this be like, oh hey, let's make a couple of like silent cartoon short kind of dealio things. That'd be cool.
Yeah. And even like your enemies have some amount of lore. Now keep in mind, this is a darker game. It talks about death and the different types of deaths that you have to get around. Like you have people who are overworked, you have people who had their addictions or fatty food processing.
Mhm.
This game is light on the commentary. It's not oversaturated. It's light with sprinkled with humor.
Yeah.
And that's something I like. Um, uh, man, I don't know what else to say here because character designs are nice. Character designs are nice. My favorite scythe I like using so far in this game, that when I get the chance to, is the scythe that's attached to a string. It's very combo heavy. It is very you can just basically string it together.
Oh, it's more like a sickle, kind of like a like
Yeah, chain
if
and
you've
sickle
played.
situation.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
If you played like Ninja Gaiden 2, like one of those
yes,
kinds of weapons.
yes and
Fast
no, but
paced and long reaching.
it's basically more range. It's more range, but it's just like it's still a sight. It's not like a sickle.
Okay.
Your sickles are these dual sickles where it's just like very very light, extreme combo heavy, in and out type tactics. And then of course there's a couple others I still have not unlocked. There's your basic sight. It's neutral across the board. Gets you pretty far. One of my favorite things I like is that there's this mechanic where you fill up this meter to do like your supers. Every item, every scythe, every attack has its own special super.
Mhm.
And there are a lot of weapons and items. And so you can feel the love and energy that went into this game. There are secret levels, there, and then the health system. So how the health system works is you take a pip of damage. Okay, you can recover that back with anima. Anima is basically your little nectar slots. You press it, you heal up. Now you get three. You get three starting out 3 slots in total. Now say you pick up an extra anima. Now that goes into one of your anima slots, and it turns it into gold. That is extra. That will repair not only whatever damage you've taken, but whatever wound you sustain, because it's possible for you to sustain wounds in this game. Not wounds where it's just like it's a debuff, or it's just like it's a permanent loss to your health. Kind of like in Souls-like in a sense.
Yeah, when you're like when you die and then you lose,
like when you're hollowed out. But it's easier to get it back. Now with every death, it's a reset. You're back to neutral. You're back to everything. You get straight back to your desk, covered in paperwork, and you hear the tune, "Welcome to the afterlife." But you meet all kinds of quirky characters. Again, this game is a little bit of a morbid humor. So if you cannot take a little bit of dark humor or a little bit of salt with whatever you're seeing, this game's not for you. I'm going to be honest. It is a fun game where you can semi-turn off the brain and just keep trying to do runs where you just feel like, oh, I'm going to get it this time. It's never truly demoralizing. Yes, as it goes on, it gets harder. But also, half the time when I get hit, I could have prevented those hits. I could have dodged it. I could have just been like, nah, that was on me.
Yeah, it's like you admit faults. Like, oh, hey, that's what I like about games like that, where it's like, it's tough but fair, and like if you fuck up, that is 100% on you. It's not that, oh, the game had a random difficulty spike and made the boss invincible to your attack and like ate through your combo and killed you. It's like, no, you slipped up, you weren't paying attention, or you zigged instead of zagged, and then you got killed, or you took damage from it.
That leads me to my next point. The bosses of each floor are different. Now, once you clear the first boss, security, no big deal, but security, big buff dude, jock, and the workplace area. And then you get your option, you go to your break room. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Your break room is where you could go get food from the fridge, the whole workplace humor. Somebody stole my lunch type deal. And you can use whatever currency you've earned from the previous level or that you have gained throughout that level to unlock to refill the fridge after you've taken it, like the fat fuck you are.
Yeah.
The water cooler, of course. The water cooler is anima, and then there's a vending machine where you could risk one anima and gain something back. There's a lot of risk and reward in this game.
I could definitely see it.
Yeah.
Like 110%. I could definitely see it.
Yeah, that's really good. If you like games like Dead Cells and like Hollow Knight, but like combine both of those, like the color palette of Hollow Knight, but the action of Dead Cells is like where I was going with when I first played this game, like the speed and tech of Dead Cells. And it's really good. And also like coming off of Hades, if you don't want the isometric feel, but you want like the side scroller action game roguelite type of situation, yeah, this is totally the type of game for you. I like it. I haven't touched it in a while, but they've been actively adding a lot of content over the last year, and the game actually fully 1.0 dropped in March, and we're in April now, so the game is now available on like pretty much everything, and it's good. Would recommend. Like Mark said, the animation and everything's really smooth. Combo potential's freaking crazy, and the humor's there too. Even though it's a little morbid, but it's still very much there. Especially if you're high 20s, low 30s, hate your job. Hell yeah, this is a game for you. Definitely.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It's like games like this and Going Under were like two of like, yeah, this is a mood.
Those satirical, yeah.
You definitely. This is something you get, especially you, Brendan. I feel like you will vibe well with this game.
Yeah, I already vibe with the aesthetics, but it's just, like I heard a lot of good stuff about it from David.
Like there's
So this is one of those games.
there's directional inputs and everything. Like I could gush about like all of its little details. I love the fact that one of the enemies there's this enemy in the food processing plant where like if you kill it, a fry falls out. Now the fry's not gonna hurt you. You don't have to do anything to that fry. It's just gonna sit there and cry. But
Mhm.
if you kill it, it adds it into your. When you open up the book for the lore on it, it's just like it was just a fry. Now why'd you do that?
Why'd you do that? Monster, you're horrible.
You're horrible.
But yeah, no, the character designs, especially on the bosses, are very, very interesting. I will say.
Definitely. Good game.
Every
Good
time.
games are good. Don't let this one slip away from you. If you're like just hearing about it for sure. This is one of those games where it's like if you haven't been keeping tabs on it, I haven't been seeing people talk about it, so it could slip under some people's radars. But definitely, if you like games, like I said, Hollow Knight, Dead Cells, Hades,
There we go.
check this game out. Add it to your Steam wish list. Add it to wherever you can pick this game up, and just like keep it on your backlog in case it goes on sale at some point, or if you just want to pick it up now, it's available right now. But let's switch.
Yeah.
Let's change gears a little bit from games.
Funnily
Mhm.
enough, I'm adding that to my spreadsheet.
Yeah. Let's change gears a little bit from games and let's talk a little bit about some shows real quick. So Mark, going back to you, you've been watching an anime that I actually personally want to check out. People call this gay spy family. You've been watching Buddy Daddies.
Has been more inaccurate in my goddamn life. It is wholesome, but no, it's not. It's not gay spy family. Surprisingly.
Okay.
Basically, you have these two hitmen that are trying to work their job and also raise this kid, where is the daughter of one of the targets that they killed.
Oh.
But she basically finds them at a Christmas party because she came out looking for her papa. Her mom didn't really give a fuck, but I'm not gonna explain too much. Buddy Daddies is a great time. Both the characters are relatable on both the main characters are relatable on some degree or another. Like you have one that's always on his games, eating junk food and whatnot. And he's just like, yeah, he's just willing to sleep anywhere. I'm just like, yeah, that's low key kind of me. And just you're seeing like how they both grow together, raising their daughter. And then you have the other father who is very overprotective of his daughter.
Mm-hmm.
But it will go above and beyond. I guess what a way you can describe him is kind of like a helicopter parent. He's not a helicopter parent, but holy crap, he will go above beyond and get like Wagyu steak just to cook for her to make a hamburger steak.
Mm-hmm.
Hey yo,
like this man will spend bank.
Anything to keep his baby happy.
Yeah, the
baby girl.
The neat, he's the I guess the bronze of the two. He's really good. He's really good with with guns and all that. Cleans up real well too.
Mm-hmm.
The other one's more the brains of the operation, and it's more of an introspective story of what it means to be a papa in a sense, and the joys of being a parent and what life has to offer you other than just working your job, and what are you willing to give up for said job.
So you mean to tell me that this anime and Spy Family both have one thing in common?
Good parents.
Go have kids. Go have kids.
Listen, we all know why Japan is dropping anime like this.
Honestly, it ain't even. If you want to take it, if you want to blow it back at them, it ain't even about have kids. It's about adopt. Just adopt.
Take these children, please.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, there's a lot of very wholesome moments in the show. I for one loved sitting down and watching it with Ren. I would gladly sit down and do a watch party with friends again
Mm-hmm.
with this. And overall, you get a sense of satisfaction watching this show because
Definitely looks like a
it's
show I would want to watch, and
Mhm.
also apparently the dub is done too. So I'm definitely going to. I think it's already in my queue, so I'm probably going to start watching this after I'm done with Doctor Stone.
I believe
Oh,
it's like
Doctor Stone's a good one.
I believe
Mm-hmm.
it's like 12, 13
Yeah, it
episodes.
seems like a 12,
Fair.
13 episoder.
You know what?
And
You know what vibes this gives me? This gives me Sweetness and Lightning. If you remember that one, David.
Oh, I need to. I think I need to go back and watch that. I never finished.
That
it.
was
That was a good
that
one.
one was a that one was a. Ooh, that hurt my heart.
That was a good one.
oh, I will say I'm not spoiling anything. I will say the ending is very satisfying. It
Good.
left me happy with man tears on the inside.
Good. I
Yeah.
like a good feel good
It-
story.
Like it's not one of those 13 episode animes where it's just like, well, is there going to be a season 2? You can't leave shit unanswered.
Mhm.
Fuck you.
I love how like David, you said like, oh, it's a feel good inside story, and I just see like one of the dads walk like strafing the house with a gun.
Uh-huh,
I'm like, yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god. It's well paced. It's well paced. It's not one of those situations where it's just like, oh, okay, there is no pacing at all or anything, or like it leads to disappointment. I will say one question I kept asking throughout the entire series is, why is their kindergarten teacher so fucking thick?
Don't worry about it.
As kindergarten teachers often are.
Yeah. Don't worry about
As they often are.
it. Yes, this is factual. Don't worry about it.
But yeah,
But
it looks like a
Millie-
great anime. I do actually want to watch
Millie
this.
Well,
is
it
a
looks good.
joy. Millie is a joy.
Oh, the girl's name is Millie? Okay, that's cute.
Yeah. I love that child. Her and Anya would be great friends.
That's what a lot of people have said, yeah. Her and Anya
Yeah.
would get along. They're about the same age, yeah. I think maybe Anya's a
remember, I
little bit
gotta-
older, I think. But yeah.
Yeah, like a
definitely.
year or so.
Mhm.
I definitely need to catch up on Spy Family. I'm debating on like trying to just read the manga or watch it. I'm like, I kind of just want to watch it.
Yeah, I
Haven't
binged
had no
all of
good time
season
watching.
1. And got through
But-
that, so.
Yeah, no, I've watched a bit of Spy Family, and then I watched this. I'm gonna go back to Spy Family, but gay Spy Family is not the best way to describe this.
Okay, gotcha.
People are inaccurately describing this.
Okay.
It is more like of a wholesome family, and you see these two people who are clearly different personalities become like the best of friends. They genuinely actually start caring for each other in a good way. They think more, and when it comes to the relationships here, they think more of their relationship with Millie rather than the relationship with each other. Like, yes, they're like, wow, you actually have changed as a person, because you could tell one's tired and reclusive and the other one's a bit more outgoing. It's basically like watching the introverted friend live with the extroverted friend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
I could definitely. I would say, Gay Spy Family, not accurate. Sweetness and Lightning 2, definitely.
Best dads of anime. Confirmed. Good,
Yeah.
good.
Go from Dad of War to Dad of Anime.
Okay.
Basically.
And let's go from dads to brothers.
Brothers.
Brendan, you are watching a show that I fucking love. God damn, I love this fucking show. Watch Rise of the TMNT. God damn it,
It's-
Brendan's been watching it.
Listen, that show.
Yo!
After the first couple episodes, I'm like, all right, we are in this. Like, it has no right being this well animated. The character development is very, very good. I love all the boys. They're so dumb, but
Yeah, they're all good. They're so
all stupid.
the writing's so
Right,
great.
And like the writing's great. Like, I love April. April's a blast. to have on
April
screen.
is-
the fucking
mhm.
the Foot Clan, the Apprentice. The Apprentice
Yeah.
kills me. it's just so stupid. And it's a very, very good show. It's what's weird is that like the first 2 seasons are on Netflix, but like I think season 3 is on Paramount.
Yeah, season
Yeah.
3 you
'Cause,
gotta
like-
jump through some hoops to find. Yeah.
Yeah, because I want to
Season-
watch season 3. It's like I watched the
Season
movie
3
because
is on
the movie's on Netflix, but season 3 isn't. It's just like, huh? I think it's on Amazon Prime Video as well, so I think I might watch finish that over the next like week. But no, it's show is slept on. It's fantastic, and like so much stuff comes together. And when the boys pop off, they pop off. And when
The
they're
fight
being
scenes
idiots,
are so
they're being
fucking good.
idiots.
The fight
The fight
scenes
scenes
are the best
like
that has ever been in the TMNT franchise. So good.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
I actually have to ask you guys, which turtle in this series do you like the most?
I love Donnie. I love Donnie and Leo.
Oh,
I love Leo,
Donnie.
but I love Donnie. Donnie carries
always
though.
love Mikey.
But Donnie
I
in this
love-
one iteration, he's so good.
I love Raph and Donnie's interactions.
Yeah.
It's great. I love how like Leo is like just a corny loser. but
Yeah.
he's so funny.
Binge
He's like, it's all right, guys. I'm the coolest. I did it. And then Donnie's like, bro, shut up. No one
Yeah.
asked you.
Same voice actor as Sonic the Hedgehog and Dewey from DuckTales is Leonardo's voice actor. So yeah, same voice actor.
And I will always love Mikey. Like Mikey will be one of my favorite characters. Like MarcN0tMark is thinking, yeah, I'm a Michelangelo ass nigga, but I love Michelangelo.
Of course you are.
He's
Honestly,
always been my favorite.
In this version, like Raphael's never like one of my favorite turtles, but in this version, yeah, Raph's like up there. Like his
he's
personality
very
in this version, he's like the so when Rise of the TMNT first came out, one, people were bitching about it because the old heads were like, it's not the turtles I grew up with, it's not the 4Kids version, it's not the 2012 version, which was actually really good. 2012 was really good, but their art styles were so drastically different. They all are different turtles. They all look so different from each other. And also, in the canon for this, Raph was designated the leader throughout the show. So he had more like a big brother. I have to protect my younger brothers thing. I'm like leading my crew, and I have to make sure they don't fuck up. But also, I'm still learning how to be a leader type of thing. So his role was actually really interesting in the show. And also, they didn't have their original weapons. Like we know, like Mikey has the chucks, Raph has the sais, Donnie has the staff, and then Leo has his two swords. In this show, everyone has different weapons, except for Donnie. His is more like a tech bow, which is kind of multi-use. But Donnie kept his bow, and then everyone else has totally different weapons. Like Raph has tonfas. Raph has tonfas. Leo has a katana blade, and then Mikey has like, what do they call it? Kasani something fundo. It's like basically a grapple weapon, like a grapple yo-yo type of thing or whatever.
Enough,
and they're like mystical weapons, so they have powers too.
Funny enough, there was a point in time where Raph was the leader before Leo, and he did run Tompas. And then when the old heads were complaining about this, I'm like, no.
In the comics?
This was like way
Early comics,
earlier
okay.
in the comics.
Okay.
Hey, so y'all not old heads for real.
When I do lore dives, I do lore dives.
It's-
Go ahead.
I just want to say, this is like watching this has gotten me into like, all right, I do want to read the comics because David's been on a huge comic kick.
The current
like,
TMNT is so
almost
good.
this is his comic arc for his comic arc. Like it was like every other day. It's like, yeah, so I went to the comic shop and got these comics.
I went to the
oh
comic shop.
I was waiting.
I went to the comic shop.
I was waiting for this man to get to Last Ronin for a good minute too.
Yeah.
And they're gonna make a game. They're gonna make a Last Ronin game. That's gonna be interesting.
Yeah. But like TMNT, this iteration of the turtles, like since like I said they have those mystic powers, so Leo's sword can make portals. Raph's tonfas can like basically give him a stand, which is basically like almost like over armor, like holographic over armor, which can make him giant and give him like super strength. Mikey can pretty much like manipulate matter almost. Like he can freaking throw a tanker sized boat just like seamlessly. And then Donnie's so big brain, master galaxy brained in this series, he just has like a tech bow which can be modified to do all sorts of shit, and it has like rockets and stuff and all sorts of things.
I don't need no mystic power.
Yeah, he just has his tech bow. Yeah, so all of their weapons are sick, but also like I said, the animation is so top tier in this iteration of the Turtles.
Super good.
The company who worked on this also are working on the Lego Monkey Kids series, which isn't natively airing in the US, but is airing in like Australia, I think. But they popped the fuck off on that show too. That show's been going on for 4 seasons. That shit is good. So like I said, animation wise, this is the strongest TMNT shit has been ever. Like if you look up, like people out of context post fight scenes from this show all the time on Twitter, and people immediately are like, "Where do I watch this?" And we're like, "Bro, we told y'all up front, watch this show." And now it's like y'all see the fight scenes, now y'all want to watch it. So
yeah, now I want to hop in with a hype. We were here from the beginning.
yeah, but I will say that the writing is very goofy. It is very like there's a cohesive story going throughout the whole thing, and it's like one of those things where you can watch each episode standalone, but if you watch it all back to back to back to back to back, there's a story that's growing over the course of the show, which is also very well done. Like Splinter was also like a thing that people were complaining about up front because he is kind of like a shit dad up front.
Yeah.
I love
But
Splinter.
they build on his character in a way late game, which is very interesting. And this is probably like one of the better Splinters, I'd say.
I
Late game.
I love the fact that Splinter doesn't bother with their actual names. He's like red, blue.
Yeah, like he just
no, purple's after me.
Mm-hmm.
It's very good. Like this is like I wish I had this when I was a kid because like the old TMNT when we were like when the ones we grew up with, that shit was really good. And it's just like this. I literally caught myself watching some episodes like Saturday morning cartoon style. Like had some breakfast, sat down on my couch, watched like a good like hour or two of this, catching up with some episodes. Like still a fantastic watch. Like it's one of those where it's just like like you can appreciate like it's like one of those cartoons where it's made for all audiences.
Mm-hmm.
Where younger kids can learn about the turtles and get into them because the turtles are really fucking cool.
Yeah, the turtles are on a swing right now, definitely. They're
Yep.
everywhere.
And
They're
then,
literally everywhere.
Yes. And then with that, then you have like the older generation like us, where it's like, all right, well, we can appreciate the more details, like the references, the animation quality, the character building. Like we can appreciate the finer details of it. Like it's up there with like, oh hey, it's the animation style, the animation quality is up there with like really good like high tier anime fight scenes.
Oh, most
like it's very good.
Dude, the fight scene people have been posting where they're fighting Shredder, where it's like all of them versus they just be popping off, bro. They put freaking Naruto music over it. They put My Hero music over it. It's hype. It's so hype.
It just works.
Like if this makes me wish it came out. It makes me wish we were still getting licensed video games like we were back when we were kids. Because if this got a game, oh my! If freaking Platinum got their hands on this shit, god damn! God damn!
Still did good games,
bro. I would have loved the Platinum version of this.
How many people would have the online persona Booty Shaker 9000 with?
Yep,
bro, dead ass.
3 Ys, 4 Ys.
So good.
Booty Shaker X
9000. It's
so good.
It's so fantastic. Like this is like I said, this is one of those where it's just like, yeah, I would have killed to have this as a kid, especially like licensed game wise. Like it would have popped the fuck off. Like even the one back then though with the like the 4-player beat 'em up, the 3D beat 'em up that Konami made.
Yeah,
that shit was really good. And like I would love to see them do that with this. But the Turtles have been making a resurgence with Shredder's Revenge, which was really, really good.
Yeah.
With Rise of the TMNT, the show and the movie. Which is very, very good.
Bro, the movie was like, sick. Oh, the movie was sick.
It's just like they and just and then with like the announcement or like the talks of a Last Ronin game. And
yeah, and like, also Seth Rogen's animated iteration and coming out in theaters in August.
That's like
Turtle time, baby.
Turtle time. Fucking
I will
turtle power.
I will say another thing I like is the extended cast, all the extra characters, all the goofy stuff that you see with like with some of the enemies like Meat Sweats.
Yeah, there's a lot of original characters in this, like a lot of new mutants.
Can we talk about the capybara?
Capybara, yeah, he's so wholesome. And he comes back often. Like he's a reoccurring character.
He is the recurring character.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
that is very good.
There's and then one of the enemies, that spider chick that's always making up words.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
had a freaking thing for Splinter or what.
Yeah. The episode, like I said, so many episodes with such the episode when they were on the train. That was a good episode.
Bro,
Good episode.
Oh my
that was
God.
really good.
That was actually a callback. That was actually a
Really?
freaking callback to how the Turtles originally were.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because when the Ninja Turtles first,
They all had
when
the same
Ninja Turtles
colors.
first- they all had the same
Yeah.
colors. They all
Yeah.
had the same headband.
Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
how actual ninjas were.
Yeah.
And the fact that they dropped actual ninja lore and actual like stuff, little tidbits that even I'm gonna reference another YouTuber here, Gaijin Goomba talks
Yeah,
about how
Gaijin,
ninjas were. It's so cool to see that.
I appreciated the fact that was like the most serious they've been like that season.
Anytime they had to get serious, it was
playtime's
crazy.
over.
Yeah,
we got
dude.
shit to do.
Good show. Watch Rise of the
Good,
TMNT.
very-
They're not
very
getting
good
any
stuff.
more funding because Nick don't give a shit. But watch
It's-
Rise of the TMNT.
It's like, come on, like this
People
this
don't give
shit can
shit about
bankroll
animators.
itself. This shit can bankroll itself. It's
Literally.
so good.
Best animated Turtles, period, bro. So
Like I
good.
would love. I'm glad. Like I'm still glad that the series is still alive and well. Like even like they were in Knockout City. Like
Yeah.
I love seeing them still around. So they're still relevant to a generation. So I don't think they're gonna go anywhere for a bit. Another show, maybe, but the fact that we're getting a movie, that's definitely gonna. As long as that does well, that's gonna help
Yeah.
kickstart it because it's basically another reboot.
Yeah, the
It's gonna
Turtles are
kick-
the Turtles
It's gonna kickstart it.
have never gone away, and every time they come back, they're better than they were before. So
Yeah, it's like it never fails. Like
Yeah.
every single time they come back with pretty much every new version. Like if there were some that had some flaws,
they
but
get a new version
like-
damn near like once a decade or twice a decade.
Yeah,
Love
and that's good. And I wanted
Mhm.
to stay that way because like that's because Turtles like even like ours like even like our older siblings if like we have older siblings we still keep up with. They
Mhm.
grew up with this shit. Where
Mhm.
like back when they were like 10, they wanted to be Leonardo for Halloween. They wanted Ninja Turtles. They wanted the turtle truck, or they wanted the action figures, or they wanted the katana, or they wanted the nunchucks.
Mhm.
Like it's just stuff like that that's gonna it's passing the torch, so to speak.
Yeah.
Ninja Turtles are so relevant to the point where there are times where I'll pop on Call of Duty and I see people running around in Shredder armor.
Oh, yeah, they put freaking Shredder in Call of Duty, bro. Like, why?
Dude,
There's no reason
Mark,
for
we were
that,
pla-
but it's
Mark,
just
we were
there.
playing it today.
And
It's crazy. It's nuts. I'm like, all right. At this point, I said it so many times to so many of you guys. They need to put the Turtles in Fortnite. Like
Honestly, though, bro, I
Michelangelo
would.
Michelangelo would play Fortnite.
Mikey
Donnie would
plays
play Fortnite.
Fortnite canon.
Mikey plays Fortnite. Canonical.
I wouldn't
they
doubt
get-
if they made a joke about that in freaking in the new Seth Rogen movie, bro. That'd be so
Ma-
funny.
Yeah.
make an emote called Booty Shaker 9000
Yes.
Can't
with
wait,
three
bro.
Ys.
With 3 Ys. I just love that shit. It's so fucking good. Like
Watch
it
Watch
break-
Rise of the TMNT, man.
Watch it.
There's a whole
Fa-
community that's just like, we know the show isn't getting promoted no more, and Nick don't give a shit, but we want y'all to just know how good this show is. So watch Rise of the TMNT. It's on Netflix. The movie's on Netflix. And then and then you gotta get that trial of Paramount Plus to watch the rest of it. But yeah, watch Rise of the, and this is another example of a show that needs a physical release. I would buy the whole show box
I'm
set.
surprised it doesn't have one.
I would buy the
have-
whole show box set if they
I
released
have
it.
I have the original trilogy of the movies
Mhm.
in my
Yeah, I got
in my
that too.
closet right now. I got that.
Mhm.
I'm not letting that shit go.
Yeah, but
Oh,
Rise of the
apparently-
TMNT needs a
apparently-
physical.
Apparently it's on Hulu. I gotta see if season 3 is on Hulu because like I have a Hulu account.
Mm-hmm. Good
But
watch.
definitely that Paramount. I gotta watch that too. I want to sit down and finish it because it's super good.
Me and Aisha have actually been. I have, like Marky said, I have the trilogy of the OG movies, and then I have the Michael Bay 2 movies, and then I have the 2006 animated movie. So I have like all the turtle animated.
that was
I have
good.
all the turtle movies, and I like yesterday randomly, I told Aisha like, okay, we watched the first TMNT movie yesterday. And that shit's so ass. It's so ass. We watched it yesterday, and then we watched the Michael Bay movie afterwards. And we're probably gonna watch the second like 90s
the
movie
first
today.
one, like
The
oh,
OG
like the first
one.
that
The OG.
when they were the fucking Go
yeah.
Ninja, Go Ninja, Go.
Yeah, we
Oh,
watched that
shit's
one.
so bad.
Yeah. I got
It's so corny, bro. But we watched that
when you
yesterday.
When you get out here, we watching all three.
Okay, bet. Say less. It's better you strap me to a chair if you watch Resident Evil.
Don't worry, we're
that
gonna
too.
get to that.
Doing that
We
too.
will go get to that. We gonna get to the Netflix series soon, not the live action, the animated one.
The Netflix live action series was just so bad. Rest in peace, Lance Reddick, the homie. But fuck.
But let's see. To get start wrapping up here on the show, Mark, you're going to tell us how you've been playing not Overwatch, but Gundams. You've been playing Gundam Evolution.
Gundam Watch.
Man, Gundam Evolution. All right. I got so wrapped up, I forgot that was one of my picks.
Got his ass.
Okay, so
hey, yo, chat, hit him with the
Oh,
stupid.
So Gundam Evolution, very fun game, free to play on PlayStation, PC, Xbox. Just download it, play the fucking game. It's good. It's a lot. It's easier for if than Overwatch in some ways, if you ask me, simply because there are no classes per se.
Mm-hmm.
There are no classes. You choose whatever Gundam you want, Gundam or mech, and there's a lot of potential here. Like, you have freaking the OG Gundam from like the original series, and if you're a fan of the Gundam series, you'll like the mechs that you see here. Like, there's Pale Rider, there's Sazabi, there's the Zaku, there's Barbatos from Iron Blooded Orphans. Iron Blooded Orphans was actually popping off recently, and if you like Witch of Mercury, they're making references. They were making references and cosmetics for that too.
I can see that.
Yeah.
There is way too much for this game to not survive, and it deserves to get a lot. It deserves to get a lot.
I will say this, to slightly interject. This is a perfect game for Gundam fans. Like, think about all the Gundam games we had over the years.
Oh yeah,
primarily like the big
y'all.
3D arena, like Maxi Boost On and Gundam Versus and shit like that, and then the Gundam and the shitty Gundam Dynasty Warriors game. No, this game, like a hero shooter with Gundams and like their signature abilities and traits. Yeah, no, this is perfect.
There's because things like this game in some ways does better than Overwatch.
Yeah,
if you ask me.
Bruh.
There, in some ways, it is better. There are other ways where Overwatch still supersedes this. It is harder to unlock your first Gundam because, again, this is a free-to-play game, so you can either pay for it, but unlocking cosmetics and doing like your dailies and whatnot. Doing dailies or weeklies are way too fucking easy.
Really?
Just doing, like, you could do that and it's too easy. You'll get that. There are character challenges and whatnot. Like, you have Turn a Gundam. Turn a Gundam ultimate move is a Moonlight Butterfly. Like, there are moments of hype. Now, there are some modes where it's just like it's similar to Overwatch. This game is a bit more time consuming. Overwatch is a bit faster. There are some, but this is something worth getting into. Sorry, tangent.
What's the Gundam model that his ultimate just fucking throws you to a somersault and kicks you in the air?
That wasn't even an ultimate. That's Turn a Gundam. That's his move.
It's a cooldown. I just love that shit. It's just like, oh hey, like that's like, oh, I see you got your axe and you got your laser sword and your shield. I got these hands. Let's go.
That's literally one of his moves, and he has a move where it makes it easier for if he heals faster. And excuse me. So what happens is that when you run out of health mid-fight, like say like you're behind cover, they get that last clip off of you. So you are not out of the fight until your mech is destroyed. You are not out of the fight until your mech is destroyed. Somebody can bring you back and bring you back into the fight. However, it's same goes for the enemy team, or your shit gets blown up.
Yeah.
Cool. Now, everybody has different levels of verticality and different levels of horizontal movement. Like some Gundam, everybody has the same amount of boost, but how many dashes can they do to the side is different. Like look at Barbatos and Zaku. Barbatos has 3 dashes. Since he is only melee, he's a decently beefy boy, but he will dash side to side to side just to get closer. And he has resets. Meanwhile,
I just love
if
how
you
everybody's a tank. Like everybody's like has a shit ton of health because they're actual just tanks.
not everybody has a shit ton of health. That's a cool thing. Everybody has there are stats. There are stats. I'm gonna fucking fight you. I'm gonna fight your chat. I'm gonna fight your chat.
Better luck next time, fuckboy.
But yeah, you could with there are health packs, like, and say like you're just backing out of a fight for a second. You don't need a healer all the time. There, like you can passively heal outside of a fight if you give yourself some time to back out. It's like, okay, I need to back out and just catch my breath. And then there are positioning. It does matter. Like and if in with the sniper characters, they still have to be a part of the fight. You know why? Because they have something in their kit that can revive somebody back in the fight with their rank with a revival gun. It's just like, okay, this person's behind cover. Let me pop this dude with the revival gun, and now I can get back to sniping. They can't stay too far back. Everybody has their own ultimates. Everybody has their own signature moves. Pale Rider has the Hades system. The original Gundam has area clear. The different game modes, of course, there's the capture points. Of course, there's always capture points. There is a sabotage game mode where basically one side's attacking, one side's defending, where you have to go up and blow up one of the points. Now, one of the things that makes this interesting that could prevent them from you being spawn camped is that the attacking team can go capture a point that unlocks another spawn point. So you can either leave from spawn or from the relay if there's being too much pressure put on in one area. There are some areas where it's just like it's a lot more tactical. Now, building ultimate is a bit more difficult if you are a newer player or if you're a bit of a slower player. It's that shit's not given out for free. You earn your ultimate moves.
Makes sense.
There's more than one melee Gundam. There's more than one tank, like a gun tank. Think Bastion, but actually a bit mobile.
Okay.
And one of the things that gun tank can do that makes him viable is the fact that he can res people faster than other people. Then you have the GM model. GM has a shield, pistol, and a healing grenade, and a satchel charge that basically denies.
So basically like a jack of all trades character.
Yes, but he only has one dash because he has a shield.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has their own ability. Some people are more buff operated. Some people are more ground oriented. There are 2 Gundams right now that can transform and fly. One's more of a support class, and one's more offensive. And it is squishy, get in, get out. And I love every bit of that. But if you don't know anything about Gundam, you could still play this because whatever unit you pick or whatever unit you're looking at, you could there's a little description of like, okay, this is what this Gundam was built for. This is the synopsis of the lore, and you know the name of the model. So if you want to know more about a specific Gundam, you can look it up.
It's like one of those like how it's like, and that's what I kind of like about anime games like these, where it's just like, hey, we're just gonna throw a shit ton of characters, especially in a series like Gundam, where it's like there's so many damn iterations and like spin-offs, canon or non-canon. There's so many stories in this Gundam universe that like you could be like, oh hey, I like I like Barbados. He's pretty fucking cool. Where can I find him? And then just sit down and watch the series that he's in and be like, oh, okay, that's some
Hope
good
you like
shit.
children and war crimes.
Yeah. That's the Gundam series. Or it's like War Crimes and Space Opera. Or it's just like, okay, like especially in the Gundam Versus games. Have you played those, by the way?
I played a couple actually.
Because I can see you playing that, like doing like a stream with that or just hanging out and playing it.
I
Because
genuinely. Okay, so why I say Gundam Evolution is so good is simply because I understand that not everybody can get into Gundam, but this is an easier jump in kind of game.
yeah,
And because not a lot of people are talking about it, it's still kind of small. It is pretty big on the PC landscape. I made the switch from my PlayStation to PC on that game. Um, it is a very fun game where you could hop on. You can party up with some people, or you can run solo. It's a solid game overall.
yeah, it's a very good gateway drug into like getting into the series. Or if it's like like you just said, even if you don't know what the hell is going on or what the hell a Zaku 2 is, you can be like, oh, I like to play as the mech that gives me. I like to play as the Gundam or the hero that gives me 3 dashes and a this. Or I like to be like, hey, I get to go unga bunga and go and just smack someone over the head with a club or stuff like that. Like it's just like it's a good game with like great mechanics and great feel, but it also does a lot of fan service for the true fans who stuck through the series either from the beginning or at some point in time. There's always a
so
fan somewhere.
the difference in this and between Maxi Boost versus is that even if you pick a basic unit like the Zaku I was talking about earlier, Zaku is good as fuck. You could take a Zaku and fuck up Barbatos real fucking quick because he's a good skirmisher. He has 3 dashes, he has his machine gun, he has a smoke screen that will prevent him from taking damage so he could get the fuck out.
Yeah.
And then of course a concussion grenade. And his ultimate, now not all ultimates are meant for killing. And not all ultimates are like instant tide change is just an instant, all right, I want to win this fight, this encounter.
Mhm.
It is a lot more okay to solo alt somebody in this game if it gets them off the field.
Yeah,
Whereas
it's
in Overwatch,
Mhm.
if you use an ultimate, you better hope it leads to a team play.
yeah, or like I could definitely see it. How many players in a match is like a 5v5?
6v6.
6v6? Okay, gotcha. So it's just one of those where it's just like, all right, every kill does matter, and like you said, you're pretty much justified for using your ult, even if it's like, even if you down a player and you don't and you don't finish them off, that gives you time to use them as bait to get their team to interact and like use their abilities, and then you could ult on them and just micromanaging the ultimate / ability economy.
One thing I can definitely I appreciate in this game that does get on my nerves at times is
Mhm.
the fact that if you're playing a game, you're committed to that match. So if somebody leaves early on in the match is canceled, they close it out because it wouldn't be fair.
Yeah.
And it does the whole thing where it's like if like in ranked Overwatch where it's just like, all right, enough if somebody left your team like mid match, like you're deep in there, a certain amount of time will pass, and then it's just like, hey, you could just take the loss and you won't be penalized. You can leave the match now.
Yeah, because they know it's like it's not fair. It's like, all right, well, the odds are stat because with a game with a small like a 6v6 versus like a 12v12 shooter, it's like a 12v12. Pretty much everyone is fodder. Having even teams is good, but even if you're a short one man, you could still turn the tide of the battle and win. But if it's a 6v5 and you're on the short side, it's a lot more of an uphill climb.
One thing I do appreciate is that there is a mercy rule. Like so say like you're really getting your ass kicked. Your team's just not pulling together. and like it's like more than double, the game would be like, all right, certain conditions have been met, match is over. This is
Oh, that's good. So instead of you like,
I-
instead of you getting stomped, it's like, oh no, no one likes getting stomped. Let's just end it because they're not gonna win.
exactly.
That's good. More team focused hero shooters or hero based games need to do that, because watching a good game or competing in an even or a very close game is more entertaining to watch and more entertaining to play than it is to be like, all right, well, we're getting stomped out by Smurfs who've been playing this game for like 500 hours, and like we're playing this game for like 500 hours. Like, we have little no chance in hell on like winning unless like one of them like disconnects and the game ends.
I've had a match where it's just like I've disconnect. I've had my moments of weakness where I've just like fuck this match and I leave. And then it's just like, yeah, no, you're not playing until this match is over because you left. Because you were the first one to leave, you can't play.
Yeah, you get punished for rage quitting. Just stick it out, because there's stuff in place to make it like fair, or at the very least not a complete waste of time.
I'm so happy for you Gundam fans. So happy for y'all.
Yeah.
Hey, you don't even have to be a Gundam fan. I think you would have a fun time with this, David.
The theming does not amuse me. Where's my thick bitches at?
Yeah.
I mean, you could customize your pilot voice too, and you have your different.
No, it's not the same. It's not the same. Yeah, Crimson. Where the thick bitches at? I want to see asses clap.
This man over here. No,
don't worry about it.
Horny.
Meanwhile, y'all being in the horny jail, I'm over here piloting my mechs.
Yeah. While you guys are chasing ass, I said it the way of the mech. Shut the fuck up. Shut up.
I'm no Gundam fan, but I'm a Gundam fan.
Yeah. Hey, did you just build one on stream? You fucking nerd.
Just materializes a Gundam out of nowhere. But
hey, I'm no Gundam fan, but huh?
Yeah, the game's been out for like a year and some change now, or about a year now?
Almost a year.
Yeah, the game's been out for about a year. It's still doing really good. So I am happy that there is a Overwatch alternative for people out there. That's for people that love Gundams in general.
A lot of people jump from Overwatch to that. Like,
yeah, that's what I heard. So that's cool.
Honestly, if you're looking for something to fill that Overwatch itch and you don't want to play TF2, this will help satisfy that itch in some way.
Mm-hmm.
I can feel it.
But let's see here. So last thing we're gonna touch on. Honestly, every time there's a lull in podcasts and we have a few months or even almost a year when we're offline, and then we come back up, there's always a lot of things to talk about on the podcast. So even though we're pushing, like, we had nothing else going on, we like being on camera out here making content. Content is content, my boy. So I don't give a fuck. And also, again, we appreciate y'all for joining us here on twitch.tv in the live chat, hanging out. Crimson Corn TV, King Two Darks, everyone else who came through today, hanging out. We're still talking. We got one more thing to touch on, and we'll be rolling out. But let's get this last topic touched on. So, last thing, we've been binging recently, which honestly is pretty good timing, I'd say, on my part, and also Mark as well, because he had a pretty good session of this yesterday. We've been playing the Division 2, Tom Clancy's Division 2. Yeah. So we've been playing that, and me also being an Ubisoft under the Ubisoft Creator Program. Great time to be playing the Division 2 via Ubisoft Plus multi-access, playing on my Xbox Series X because this game works like doo-doo on my computer. Don't know why, but it does. This game cannot run on my computer. Don't know why. It worked before, but now it's not. So I'm playing it on my Xbox Series X, no issues. So that's what I'm doing. And unfortunately, the game doesn't have crossplay, which is the biggest crime in the United States right now.
That is an L.
But Yeah, I
Feels
don't like that because like I can't play with Mark. I can't play with anyone who isn't on Xbox right now. And then same thing with people who's on PC. Can't play with people who are on PC or play people on PlayStation because I'm playing on Xbox. But it's still a good game to play through solo. Like
Yeah,
just
it is the worst timeline, man.
yeah, it's like it's a good game to play through. Like there's a lot of Ubisoft properties that are currently out right now. There's the Rainbow Six Siege, there's the For Honor, there's all the Assassin's Creeds, there's Far Cry, and
Every
then
Assassin's Creed.
with X Defiant coming out, there's just like it's representing all of the major Ubisoft franchises. And for Division 2 to be represented by the cleaners, it goes to show that Ubisoft still cares about them. And recently there was a Division 2 showcase, which pretty much laid out their year 5 blueprint for the rest of this year. So yeah, Division 2's been out for 5 years, and it doesn't feel like it, but it has been. And this game has been consistently getting content pushed in over that 5 years. If you haven't been paying attention, I think they're technically on like season 11 or 12 in the game so far.
Shit.
And the game is also going to be getting a new mode, which is basically a roguelike mode later
Yeah, I
on
saw
in
that.
this month or next month called The Depths, which is basically, I guess, you're just going deeper into like the sewers or underground tunnels, and there's going to be like roguelike elements or whatever, and you can do that co-op with people too. So that's going to be interesting. But obviously, biggest draw is the Dark Zone, the PvPvE area where you can just get headshot from down the street for trying to extract some good ass gear for yourself. But
The dank zone, if you
the
will.
Dank Zone, yep. But I started this game out pretty. I never rolled credits on the main campaign, and I decided to get back into it and actually roll credits on this game, get through the main campaign, and then jump into some in-game content to the new stuff. Because apparently you can also access like New York, which is was the first game was based off of, and then also there's other content coming out later in the year. But I don't want to do any of that until I roll credits. So I think basically you can get to level 30 and then you're in-game stuff. So I'm like level 12 right now, I think, right now. And like I said, it's a fun time walking through the streets of Washington D.C. and just I don't even like run everywhere. I'm like jauntily jogging my way, taking in the sights. This game is graphically beautiful. Like it still holds up. It looks very good. And there's always like so many buildings to walk into, just loot to just fucking pick up. There's so many like there's like so many interactions going on the map, whether it's like a control point or just like NPCs just harassing people. You just get a couple headshots, get a couple body shots in while you're going down the street. The UI is like the best in the biz, in my opinion. Like Division's UI is top tier. Like the way that you can always access that map. I love accessing the map. I love the way that your HUD is just overlaid on the gameplay screen and it doesn't interrupt anything. It's just there at all times. It looks good. Um, Top tier cover system. It's still a good cover shooter for it to be a third person shooter. So for Division to be making a online PvPvE game later in the summer, Division Homefront, which I'm very much looking forward to. If it's basically just a game that's Dark Zone all the time, I'm excited. And that might be one of my next favorite online multiplayer games of the year, and that might be a game I consistently go back to. If I can just play the Division or like a game in the Division space and it's always online and always just that, I'm down for that. So I'm looking forward to that, but I also still want context, so I'm still and immersing myself in the world. So that's why I'm playing the Division 2 right now. Um, they also confirmed like a little bit of the canon. So if you don't know what's going on in Division 2, Ubisoft released pretty much like a 5-minute video that summarizes the plot of the Division canon online, and it's like basically the canon of the story, because everything started on Black Friday, right? Like they basically started the plague through money. They started the plague through money, and that was basically October, November. Currently in the canon, once we get to the online game Homefront, we're in like early August of the following year. So all of this is going on within the span of like maybe 7 months, which is crazy. So it's a very interesting storyline, and the fact that they've been growing on this whole plot and this whole thing over all these years is very interesting. But just the idea of like the Division and like a post-apocalyptic setting, and something like this, just a solid cover shooter with all this cool tech and stuff, is just like an aesthetic that I'm really drawn into. and there's not really another game out there like it right now. And I think that's like this is the Division specifically is one of the most unique IPs that Ubisoft has, and it's
Ima-
good for me that they're still keeping it like active.
Imagine if Division 1 came out when the fall happened. That shit would have been nuts.
Bro, like I mean, even
would've
still,
been nuts.
like,
Oh my
bro,
God.
when the pandemic happened, bro, like remember when they were having all those riots in Chicago? I was like, bro, the Chicago got locked
It's the
down,
dark zone.
and it was
That's
the dark zone.
for real.
It became the dark zone for real, and I'm like, bro, Division is such a good game in terms of just like what happens when basically like this, because it's like I said, this is within the span of a year. It's not like it's like a Last of Us situation where it's like maybe a decade later. This is all within a couple months time. So just seeing how all of this stuff happened, how you can still kind of see the remnants of what were Christmas decorations in certain buildings, because all this started happening in like November, Christmas time and stuff. It's still really good. And also, like, the one thing that's really unique about this game that I like too is the maps are so well made based on the cities that they're based on. So like New York, if you play Division 1, you know how to navigate the streets of Manhattan. If you play Division 2, you know how to generally navigate the streets of Washington, D.C. Give or take, cars being in the street. But, like, other than that, you can, like, it's an actual map of those cities. So I'm like, bro, I would love if they made a Division in Chicago, specifically because I know those CTA trains and those CTA maps. The CTA maps would be terrible. Now that's the dank zone.
The red line takes you to the dank zone.
Bro, the freaking transfer tunnel, fucking high level space.
Level 85 enemies, you're on level 10. Like, huh?
Just one dude just in the tunnel at all times.
So
purple armor and shit.
hey, they gonna be like, hey, you want a square? You gonna get a square from me, right?
God.
He looks at how
Blue
far.
squares.
Yeah.
Oh my God. One thing I'm looking forward to with that is, as you both know, I am a huge Resident Evil fan.
Mm-hmm.
The Leon Kennedy stuff and the
stuff
that's dropping tomorrow.
That comes out tomorrow. Okay.
Oh, for Mercenaries, yeah.
Yeah, it's at the 25th. It said the 25th they were dropping this shit.
Nice.
So y'all gonna see me on Division tomorrow.
Yeah, and also you were playing yesterday. You were playing with a squad of 3, so you had a pretty good team comp going yesterday. So that's cool.
It should have been 4, and you know it.
Yeah, I know it should have been 4. But Brendan, that being said, you should download Division 2 using Ubisoft Plus Multi-Access Pass so you can play with me on Xbox. Please,
you know I will.
Please, bro, please. But yeah, like the fact that they're, like I said, that they're still supporting this game. There's a lot of ways to get into it, and it seems like they're still picking up steam with this specific franchise is amazing. I don't know how the fuck that mobile game's gonna work. I have no clue. But
I have no idea.
I have no clue, bro. I'm not getting a backbone either, so I don't know what the fuck they plan on doing with that. So that's gonna be very interesting to see.
So if the next Division game takes place in Chicago, are they gonna call it the Sears Tower or the Willis Tower?
They're gonna
neither.
It's not even gonna be there.
They're gonna call it the Tower.
They're gonna call it the Tower. Yeah.
The Tower. That's gonna be That's gonna be an end game raid level. We have to go up the tower.
Gotta take the stairs.
You gotta take the stairs.
Take the stairs.
You know, people are gonna be hot about that because people are gonna be like, "It's called the Willis Tower." Nah, bitch, it's the Sears Tower. Fuck you mean?
And that's how the raid starts.
Chicago don't
Sears Tower versus Willis Tower.
Chicago don't like giving their assets to nobody, so that's why we can't be having nice things around here. Only reason. Shame.
I don't know, man. I can just imagine like just a shootout at the Bean, just going fucking nuts.
Shootout at the Bean.
The sculpture.
I'm calling it now. The Jean-Baptiste Pointe-de-Sable Museum is going to be a holdout.
Oh, no, for sure. No, the new building that Obama's building, that's going to be the holdout.
Oh, bro, that'll be like a whole ass fortified high-level fortress, bro.
Man, I'm gonna keep my ass away from 95th.
Yeah, Union Station, that's gonna be hella fortified.
Yeah, dude.
Keep your ass away from 95th.
It's like that's the thing. Like Division really makes like really good. 2 Saturdays ago.
Yeah.
Like Division makes really good renditions of like post-apocalyptic cities. So if they were to,
Yeah.
because we're almost at that point where it's like it's been about 5 years or so since Division 2 first dropped, and we're almost at that. I think we're about to be at that point where we're at the separation between where the difference between where 1 and 2 came out. So if they were to make a straight up next gen version of Division, I think that would be sick. Like the technology,
Oh, yeah.
like that's
It's
what I'm
gonna
saying,
be
bro. If they
crazy.
make another one, if they make another Division and it's not in Chicago, bro, I'll be very surprised. Where the fuck it's gonna be at, bro? What the fuck gonna be at?
Watch it be in Texas.
It'll probably be in San
Houston and
Francisco.
Dallas.
It'll probably be in San Francisco. Oh, I could see it being in Texas. I could see it being in Texas or something. Maybe yeah.
Yeah, Texas
Texas or
San Fran,
Texas or
LA,
San Fran, yeah.
Seattle.
San Francisco, because then you have to cross that bridge. That'd be a whole raid crossing the
Yep.
bridge. Yeah. But yeah, Division 2 is great. It's a perfect time to jump back into this game if you have played it before and you never finished it, or even if you finished it and you want to jump back in and you want a nice like game to play co-op with some homies. You can pay a little bit extra to like get premium currency to basically buy your in-game levels to get to level 30. I think it's maybe like an extra $20 or something in-game to get your character to level 30. But like, hey, the game's fun. Just run through the streets of Washington, D.C. and just naturally level your character and get to that in-game content. And also, like I said, they have the Descent coming out, which is that roguelike content, and that's going to be added in for everybody. So I think you can just play that, and then I guess it'll be... They haven't really described like too much what it is, I think, but I think you'll be able to play that mode and then maybe get some gear that can take you into your actual campaign or in-game content too. So that'll be cool.
Just leave the dogs alone.
Yeah, the unspoken gamer rule of don't shoot the dogs or the deer. Don't shoot the dogs or the deer.
No. Not whoever in chat is saying Boston. No, we're not going out there. Okay,
Bro, Boston,
don't live their life.
Bro, through those streets,
we're going to Fenway.
through those streets, bro. Those
streets, those underground tunnels, the river.
No, we're not doing Boston. Fuck that. You fucking rat.
You fucking rat.
But yeah, with that, with Division 2 out of the way, that is pretty much everything that we have been binging, playing, watching. And I mean, honestly, that's just the tip of the iceberg. I'm playing and watching so much other stuff. But we're not going to talk about that this week.
Questions that fall out.
I will definitely have some more people on Binge Blast in the next couple weeks here to talk about what they've been playing and watching, binging, and taking part of. Definitely, we are about less than 2 to 3 weeks away from Tears of the Kingdom coming out, and that's going to be a dedicated episode. Literally, we're just going to have a whole ass episode where we're going to just be talking about Tears of the Kingdom, because I know everyone's going to have that on their Switch by the time that comes out. When Street Fighter 6 comes out, we're going to have a dedicated episode for that.
I'm getting in on that shit. That's gonna
be a fun episode. That's gonna be a fun episode. So I can't wait. There's a lot of games coming out where I know a lot of people are gonna be talking about these things in their own circles and online. So I want to get as many people on the show as possible in the next couple weeks, months, throughout the rest of the year, because we're gonna have a lot of stuff to talk about. So yeah, shout out to again everyone who was here in the live Twitch chat hanging out with us while we're talking about all these video games and TV shows. Shout out to King Two Darks. Shout out to Mark and Brendan for hanging out in chat, along with Crimson Core TV. And also we had a whole bunch of other people, Panther Music in chat, and a whole bunch of other people hanging out with us today. Love y'all so much. Thanks for being here. And also to you who are also listening in post over on Spotify, Apple Music Podcast, and also watching this on post on YouTube, because it's definitely getting uploaded to the YouTube channel as well. So, definitely going to catch you guys on the next episodes there, where you can listen to this at your own leisure with timestamps included. Before we get going here, I also want to let my guests #shameless plug themselves again, so y'all know where to find them all, where on their respective corners and pockets of the internet. So, Brendan, you go first. Where can people find you?
You can primarily find me on Twitter at AGBackTech. That's A as in Apple, G as in Gregory, Back Tech. Also known as Gorilla Todd. Find me on there. Pretty easy. I mainly follows like a lot of tech stuff, and then I often post my highlights and clips from streams from these guys.
And then Mark,
Uh,
you're up.
You could find me on every platform as MarcN0tMark, MarcN0tMark, and 0TMark. I'm mainly on Twitch and YouTube. Well, I'm uploading on YouTube again. But I stream throughout the week, and you could catch Brendan on my streams as well, because he's the professional ship poster, and you'll catch me shit posting on Twitter as well. And hopefully David is able to pop in some more.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah, because
also
we
hanging
all
out over there.
here.
Oh God! And also, you can also find these two also over here on ConMenRDW on both YouTube and Twitch. We're all hanging out on each other's channels all the time. And you can find my content, like I said, ConMenRDW on YouTube and Twitch, where I'm posting videos about PAX. I'm posting my thoughts on Crash Team Rumble. I'm posting a whole bunch of other stuff on geeky and nerdy pop culture and things to keep an eye on. And also, you can follow me on Twitter at DaveedRDW. That's DaveedRDW, and that's pretty much my most active social platform at the moment. So if you want to see what I'm doing, what I'm talking about, what I'm retweeting, you can follow me over there, and also on Instagram. So that's a wrap, y'all. That's a wrap.
Hey.
Thank you so much for being here, and we'll see
Yeah.
you on the next episode of Binge
Thanks for having us,
Blast.
dude.
Thanks for having us.
Bye.
Ah.